104.1 FM.
Let's take it from the top.
KMOX.
Happy Wednesday, y'all. It is what a fantastic day outside. Oh my gosh, look at it. Blue sky. Don't see a cloud out there. It's going to be 100 today. Not true. It's going to be cold still.
It's beautiful,
but it is very, very nice. So hopefully you can get out and about and listen to us on the Odyssey app.
It kind of felt like, for those who aren't able to see Matt, our producer, it's almost like he exploded for a brief moment. His notepad went flying.
Is he okay?
He threw some music at us. It's kind of what I would picture if Matt exploded.
Join us by texting. You're okay, pal?
I'm okay.
All right. Join us by texting and calling 314-436-7900. And that app that I was telling you about, the Odyssey app, where you can listen to the show, listen to the podcast, and Cardinals baseball when the season gets going. You can leave voice messages directly from it. And we are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
Time now for the top of the order. The top 3 stories everyone will be talking about.
Well, the president says he would like to see Republicans nationalize certain states for the upcoming midterms here in 2026. Oh, there could be an interesting fight that happens as a result.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, okay.
Like it's normal. Let's just talk about it like it's normal.
Okay. Well, speaking of normal, a bad normal, I guess you could say, for Rock Hill residents who are airing their grievances about the strong smell of weed. They complained about it at the Board of Aldermen meeting last night. They've been talking about it for weeks now. Thomas Ackerman said he lives near the area, and he said the smell is really strong.
The Billikens, oh my God, they did it again. They came back. They were down 13 at one point, and they get a victory last night. Yeah. They beat Davidson. They defeated the Fighting Steph Currys last night.
You like to say that. You're really leaning into that.
Mm-hmm. Because he's the best player to ever come from Davidson.
Name another guy.
I don't know. Well, I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. He's probably he's easily one of the top 10 players of all time, and he came from Davidson. So that's good stuff. So
I'm kind of bummed. Okay, as we just mentioned, SLU won its 16th game in a row. They weren't supposed to lose against Stanford. That was kind of a weird fluke. Does it bum you out that they have that one loss and it's kind of fluke? Every game that they win, the Stanford loss bothers me more.
I agree with you.
Because it was a fluke.
Yeah. I mean, you thought there would be others that happened, and they haven't done it. So they've won 16 straight. The school record is 19 in a row, which is not inconceivable. I mean, they could totally do that. They've got LaSalle at home on Saturday afternoon, which you can hear on 104.1 FM KMOX. Then they'll be at Loyola, and then at Rhode Island, and that happens over the next couple of weeks. So they could conceivably tie a school record before we get to the end of the month. And I'd love to see them do it. It's such a great story. And I know we talked about how sports-starved we've been because the Blues, they've been bad. The Cardinals have been not particularly good either, and they're going through a transitional period. To have the Billikens doing this, not just winning games, but winning decisively, winning in a really fun way, coming from behind if they have to get a win, blowing teams out like they did against Dayton. It's the best sports story in the city, and I think it's really unexpected, and it's very likely this is the best St. Louis sports story all year.
No, that's very true.
But I mean, we could get through December, and the Billikens will be the story of the year.
We got to knock on wood here.
That we get through December?
I don't know. I just feel like being so much positivity coming from you is a little off-putting. I'm afraid something bad's going to happen. But and to everything you said, yes, I'm in agreement. And I don't think you can downplay either that they're just a fun squad. And Josh Schertz, as we talked about, pouring drinks at the bar after the win against Dayton at Humphreys, and the relationship between Robbie Avila and Josh Schertz. And we had some people say, well, yeah, it's not uncommon to have a great relationship with your college coach, but it's not always so public.
It's not public.
It's not public. I mean, they're giving each other flack or they're catching flack on Twitter. Like,
on
that's
Twitter?
really funny.
During interviews?
During interviews.
Yeah, so they're putting it out there. You don't usually see that.
And
So
you can have fun with it because they're winning. If they were having a terrible season, you can't have quite as much public fun.
Well, so
people would be irritated.
It's tough to tell how the city at large, how the region, the area is embracing the Billikens. I mean, I see some Billiken stuff out there more than I guess I used to. I know people who have been following the team for a long time, and obviously they're going to be into it. Sports fans, diehard sports fans in the city, are going to be paying attention to the Billikens. I do wonder, though, how the city as a whole has been embracing the Billikens, because I remember it. I had no rooting interest in any teams when I was a kid, and I remember Charlie Spoonhour days. I remember people talking about Spoonball. I remember, when Rick Majerus was around. I mean, he was a big name, big-time coach. And so I hope that people here are embracing the Billikens like they should. It's a top 20 team. We're not talking about a top 10 or a top 5 team like Illinois is. And I know there are a lot of Illini fans out there who've been checking in saying this week, hey, why don't you talk about Illinois? They're number 5 in the country. Like, yes, but they're also a couple of hours away. It's not like the Billikens, who I can get to in 10 minutes.
So we do want to hear from you. 314-436-7900. Are you more excited about SLU being ranked number 19 or about Illinois being ranked number 5? I'm a St. Louisan, so I don't think it's surprising that I'm kind of a homer on this one. But, I mean, it's SLU, it's St. Louis University. It's a smaller university. I don't know if I'm just kind of used to the Illini being good, and they're a bigger school, and you see them in the tournament. Even Mizzou, I know that they were, in previous years have had varying levels of success, but it's just this big school. But to see SLU, you drive by the campus every day. We run through the campus, once a week. So many of my friends, went to SLU. My dad went to SLU. And to see them getting national attention feels different to me. It feels fun.
Well, it's different for multiple reasons. One, they are a mid-major school. Like, I went to a mid-major school. That's what Illinois State is. And so I have there's a soft spot for me when it comes to schools like that versus all the Big Ten, Michigan, Ohio State, and North Carolina and ACC, all that stuff, SEC. So I have a softer spot for teams like SLU, who are just fighting for attention because it's really difficult to get when you're going up against these other teams like Illinois, which is in the Big Ten. Even though I am from the state of Illinois, I don't really have much of a rooting interest in the Illini, and I know a lot of people who are, right? But for our listening area, about a third of it is from Illinois, about a third. And I'm, that's an estimation here. I would think that people listening to this station, maybe the better question would be if Mizzou was really good this year. Let's say Mizzou was top 5. I think that'd be a much tougher poll, because I think you get a lot of people say, well, yeah, obviously Mizzou being number 5 is a much bigger deal than the Billikens being 19. But the Billikens are a local story. We treat Mizzou as if it's a local team, but they're still a couple of hours away.
So that's a good point. Yes, a good discussion point. Do you think the romanticism or the underdog aspect of the mid-major, though, still pushes SLU into greater prominence than it otherwise would be? Because I'm still kind of romantic about SLU. Like, I don't know. I want to see them. I don't know if you just expect it, an SEC school now in Mizzou.
Yeah.
It's still Mizzou, but you kind of want, it's weirder when they're bad.
I think you'll have a casual fan that will, maybe they would embrace the Billikens a little bit more just because of the really hyper-local aspect of it. Because anybody who's in the St. Louis area, it'll take you at most 30 minutes to get to a Billikens game, right? If you happen to be in the city like me or some of the rest of us, you can get there in 10 or 15. So it's right there. It's right there in our backyard.
We have a 314. This is not the spirit of the thing. It says Illinois would crush SLU.
Yeah,
that's not the spirit of the thing.
Well, so we're talking. They probably would.
No, I know.
That's not the point, though.
We're trying to be happy here. Trying to be a little happy. Okay, so Illinois would crush SLU.
We don't live in Champaign. We don't live in Champaign-Urbana. We live in St. Louis. That's right. And again, it's proximity. The Billikens are right here.
Also, 618. Well, fun fact, says the 618. I ran cross country with Charlie Spoonhour's granddaughter. Also, go Illini. SLU is exciting too, though.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. They're athletic, and especially for a team that is a mid-major school. So it's been really a lot of fun. KD is watching us on YouTube and says, graduate of Parks College here. Go SLU.
Oh.
Parks College, you know who went there? And I think I have this right, and I will double check, but I'm pretty sure I'm correct.
Parks College.
And you will not know who this is.
Is
You
it
might.
dead?
I don't believe so. Actually, still around.
Lady or
flight director Gene Kranz, who was in the. No, you would know. Have you seen Apollo 13?
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Apollo 13.
Yeah.
Ed Harris played him in the movie.
Yes.
So,
Ed Harris.
That's right.
Gene Kranz.
Didn't know he went to SLU until recently.
A 618 says SLU is doing good, yeah, but what Illini is doing is a bigger deal because once SLU plays a bigger team, they will not win, unlike the Illini has and does play better teams.
Okay, well then, Illinois, give the Billikens a game. Give them a game.
Another 618.
See, I don't want to hear that from teams that are fans of teams in the Big Ten. I don't want to hear your crap.
Like Illinois is not going to play SLU.
They're not going to do it.
Because they have everything to lose.
They have everything to lose. They won't do it. And then you get the benefit of, in the end, saying, well, see, they didn't play anybody. Well, yeah, give them a game, you jerks.
Nobody
will
play them.
Yeah, I know. Have some guts. They don't have any guts, so I don't want to hear it from you. But thank you for checking in. Wow. 314-436-7900. It is the Chris and Amy show at 10:30. We're going to check in with Corey Miller of KSDK because he is at the Winter Olympics. He is covering the Winter Olympics in Milan, and he is there now.
He's there.
So
he's getting used to the time adjustment, probably.
What time is it there?
Later. I think it's 6 or 7 hours.
6 or 7.
6, 7 hours. I think it's 6 hours later.
Stefan Denev, the music director of St. Louis Symphony Orchestra, will be here in studio at 11. And it is our midday midlife. We are in the middle of the week. And we will talk to Dr. Willie Jolly, who is a motivational speaker and will help us not spend so much damn money and help us help you to teach your kids not to spend so much damn money.
Help me, help you.
That's coming up at 11:30. It is the Chris and Amy show on KMOX.
Are you turning 65 or new to Medicare? Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now, to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Italian subs for your finance team at Chicago. Easy Cater. Burritos for your call center crew in Plano. Easy Cater. Bagels for your sales reps meeting clients in Charlotte. Easy Cater. Hot chicken sandwiches for your third shift warehouse workers in Memphis. Easy Cater. Your teams may be spread out across the country, but you've got one platform to feed them all, whenever and wherever they work, with food they love from favorite restaurants. Easy Cater. Food for the workplace, all in one place. Order now at easycater.com.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers, advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Lance Drury Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Lance Drury Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems, call me, Lance Drury in St. Louis, at 314-260-6120 or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. YourEyeDoc.com.
For 100 years, KMOX has been a part of St. Louis. Now, those moments live on, preserved, remastered, and ready to be heard again. Discover KMOX from the Archives, a podcast featuring classic audio from a century of service.
Sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original.
The KMOX from the Archives podcast, available now at KMOX100.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
We were talking about the number 19 Billikens and the number 5 Illinois. Who are you most excited about? What's a bigger deal to you? Dave is watching on YouTube and says Illinois is all Euro pro player mercenaries. What does that mean?
So what he's saying is they've got a bunch of people from overseas, which is true. They got like 5. They've got a couple from Croatia. They have one from Serbia, Montenegro. There's
but are they kids?
Country.
Are they college?
I don't know the ages. I'm not sure. They look like grown ass men, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Sometimes I do see even like college football. I'll see the quarterback.
Greece. Yeah, they have a player from Greece.
You see the quarterback or whatever, and you compare it to like my friends' 17 and 18-year-old sons, and I think they don't look the same at all. That guy looks like he's 35.
That guy looks like he's been shaving for 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I understand that. Yeah, and SLU doesn't really have that kind of thing going on, but I mean, we should still celebrate the Illini for playing good basketball, and good for them. They're top 5, and hopefully they keep it going, but I'd rather the Billikens do better.
Okay, Ranj, as you know, I'm a huge fan of malls.
Yeah.
Love malls.
Me too.
The Galleria is breaking my heart.
Why?
One closed store at a time.
Galleria is fine.
Because Nordstrom left, which is not great. Anthropologie left, which is not great.
Nordstrom left, then they were replaced by, what is it, a rock climbing thing?
I don't know. St. Louis Bread Company this week closed.
In the Galleria.
Yeah, it makes me really sad. I love malls. So, Anthropologie went to Plaza Frontenac. It's a very nice mall. It's a calm mall. It's very calm. It's good to go if you want to be calm. Well, anyway, guess what Plaza Frontenac is introducing? They are introducing paid parking. Now, it is a preferred paid parking program, and lest you panic and drive off Highway 40, don't do that. It's not all the spots. It is 120 paid spots out of 2,500 total spaces. So it's a small group, about 5% of the lot. Those paid spots are located near entrance 35. I don't know where that is, but one of the entrances, and within the parking garage, which we kind of know where that is. Okay. Listen, here's my issue, and I'm saying this having looked at some of the real estate prices in Clayton. Somebody was asking $10 million for a townhome in Clayton, and now Frontenac wants to charge for preferred parking. I think we're getting a little big for our britches.
What do you mean?
Who do we think we are?
What, paid
charging? Parking at the mall? The mall is the great American enterprise. The mall is where teenagers go to hang out. The mall is where you go to not pay for things and just walk around in a circle and talk. And do you want to... We're not New York City.
I don't think it is.
New York City?
No, listen, you could do it. Come on, there are going to still be, what, a couple of thousand free parking spaces?
I just don't like it. I don't like the idea of it.
Well, if you are some sort of dummy and you want to pay that extra however much it costs to park at the mall when you could park a little bit over and it's free, you go right ahead.
Listen, I don't like that
somebody should probably part you from your money because you don't know how to spend it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
In fact, we're going to stick around for 11:30. We're going to teach you how to spend less.
I don't like that they charge to park downtown. I think they should pay people to park downtown. Come on downtown. We'll give you $10. Park your car and check out the city. That's what I would do.
Well, that makes no sense.
Come on down.
We need the revenue. Last thing we need to do is lose revenue.
We need people first, and when people come, then you'll have the revenue. But at any rate...
Well, people just got to come down here to park, and that's it? Get $10 and then do
hey,
what?
Listen, here's free parking.
Mm-hmm.
Go check out... you can check out the Arch. You can check out the old courthouse. You can check out... No, I was going to say Hooters, but they closed. Union Station.
Mm-hmm.
The Wheel. The Energizer Park, the team store is very nice.
That's
right
a nice
there on Market.
team store.
Go get a beer at Maggie O's.
You can get a coffee at the team store.
Wouldn't you do all of that if you knew parking was free?
It doesn't deter me at all.
You're not helping at all. What a terrible city member you would be.
What do you mean? I am so used to paying for parking in cities, it doesn't affect me at all.
Okay, but when you
and
talk about a
it's
city...
It's like $1 for 2 hours.
When you talk about a city, please name the city you are thinking of.
Any city I've been to.
Nope, the main one.
New York City.
Where your family is.
Oh, is Chicago?
Yes. And here, I don't.
In Chicago, it's like $15 an hour. Here, it's $1.
Ron, hold on to your Billikens hat. You're never going to believe this, but we're not Chicago.
Yeah, I know. That's why we don't charge $15 an hour. We charge $1. It's so cheap to park in the city. You get the app. You get the little Park Mobile app. I think it's what it's called.
Yep.
And it's like you could park for 2 hours and it's $3.
I guess.
It's nothing.
I mean, whatever. Fine. It's America. Charge for parking. And I will say, if you're going to charge for parking at any mall, do it at the Hotsy Totsy one. I bet there's a lot of Hotsy Totsy people who want to say, you came to the mall for free? I paid.
Yeah, well, go right ahead.
I'm so rich, I decided to pay to do a free thing.
That's, you know what? Exactly. You should be separated from your money. So you should give Plaza Frontenac.
I hope all the garage spots, though. I hope not all of them are paid, because there are some people who probably, for certain health reasons or mobility reasons, want the garage.
Yeah.
I hope they're not forced to pay.
I don't think they will be. I think if you've got, especially if you got a handicap space, you're not going to pay for that.
Well, not if Matt has something to say
I got
about
opinions on that later on.
Oh, great. You think I'm the bad guy?
I know. Wait until you hear this.
It's Amy Marks Kors. I'm Chris Ranji. Text the show at 314-436-7900 from a 217. I live 45 minutes from Champaign, still cheering for the Billikens.
Wow.
And I'm an ISU grad, too. Go Redbirds. There you go. That's what I want to hear. It's the Chris and Amy Show, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Football season fades into memory. Winter tightens its grip. And then, from somewhere beyond the gray, a sound breaks through. Pitchers and catchers report. Baseball takes back center stage. Hope returns, guiding you through it all. Kevin Wheeler, Matt Pauley, Bernie Miklasz, and suddenly your rush hour sucks a little less. Rush Hour Sports, weeknights at 5 on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Attention business owners with a net income over $500,000. You need to work with a tax strategist that understands your entrepreneurial mindset. Download the most recent white paper written by E3 Consultants Group titled The Power of a Professional Tax Strategy Team. Go to e3wealth.com/radio to obtain a copy. It's time to learn about wealth and tax strategies that protect your personal and business economy. E3 is ready to help you think differently about your finances. Educate, empower, enlighten. That's the E3 difference.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, haven't practiced in a long time, but I did plaintiff's work and defense work, so I have a pretty good understanding of it. I have a pretty good idea of who's who in the firmament of plaintiffs' attorneys. And for my money, Mark Cantor is the guy. He's a great attorney. He is a great practitioner. He's put together a great team. He was born and raised here. He lives here. He works here. He wins here. Call 314-628-ALL-9s or CantorInjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based on advertising.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
It's 25 degrees, and as Ron said, it's a beautiful day. Clouds giving way to more sun. Cold today, a high of 30. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy and a bit colder, a low of 17.
Sponsored by Kalshi. Trade on anything. The big game is here, and now you can trade on football legally nationwide on Kalshi. Right now, New England is trading at 32% to beat Seattle. A $100 trade pays out $289. Use code FAN to get $20 when you trade 100. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Big Blonde Dan chimes in on our parking conversation. I said, we're not Chicago. I think we should pay people to park downtown, have them walk around, discover the city. Big Blonde Dan said, last year I had to pay over $80 per night for a downtown Chi-Town hotel parking. Wild.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. At least the parking here, if you have to pay in the city for a street or whatever, is cheap.
I know, but still.
It's like not paying at all. You know, I mean,
I don't think things are going well for you.
It's like a couple of dollars.
All right. Well, if you're parking in Rock Hill.
Now, I know people are going to say, well, if you park for a game, it's $40. That's different.
Yeah, that's
Event
different.
parking is always going to be different. And no matter where you live, anywhere in the world where there are cars, you're going to have to pay for parking for an event.
My hotel in Indianapolis, I think, was $45 a night.
Yeah. I mean, like if you're
Not
going to a Cardinals or Blues
Yeah.
game or something.
Yeah.
City.
Well, if you're parking in Rock Hill, or you may have smelled a strong stench of marijuana. So
It's coming from my car while I'm parked.
you're hotboxing.
Yeah, I'm hotboxing myself.
In Rock Hill.
Yeah. That's me you're smelling.
That's Ron. We just wanted to clarify for the complaints that have been coming in, and including at a recent City Hall meeting. But city leaders in Rock Hill said nearly 100 odor complaints have prompted a state investigation. So here's the thing. The Rock Hill neighborhoods a lot of times is smelling pretty strongly like marijuana, and it's coming from a large cannabis grower warehouse in the Rock Hill Industrial Court, where Proper Brands, like Proper Cannabis, cultivates and manufactured cannabis products. If you've ever taken 40 to McKnight and then headed south on McKnight to Manchester, is that whole area. And then there's some condominiums right there. And Nancy O'Reilly, who is in this KSDK story, said that she's lived in the McKnight Crossing condominiums for more than 8 years. The warehouse is behind the condos, and this smell is just a regular problem. She said, quote, "It smells like skunk weed. There's no other way to describe it." And again, it's getting worse. Now, think about the weather right now. It's cold, 20 degrees this morning. Can you imagine when it's 100 degrees in St. Louis and the air is viscous and thick and it feels like you're living in a sponge, and then that pot smell is just lingering and hanging in the air? I bet you could scrape it off your skin. It's so thick.
Love it. So what? Rock Hill likes to party.
Well, I think it's
What's the big deal?
Manufacturing. I think they don't like to party.
They're partying in the plant?
They probably are. So Tom Ackerman, they reported on the story in Total Information AM, and he said, yeah, I live near that area, and when you're driving by, it's a pretty strong smell. Now, I don't know if I'm like allergic to the smell of weed, because you smell it a lot. When I run early in Forest Park, a lot of people wake and bake, buddy. It's 5 a.m., and they are going at it. Like, it is really heavy smell. And I think the smell of pot is real heavy.
Or they're still going.
They're still going. That's a great point. Either or. And I hate it. I hate it so much. It makes me irrationally irritable.
I know, because you talk about it all the time.
Oh, my gosh. Because I do feel like it's everywhere. I feel like you're driving and you're at a stoplight and the car in front of you smells like pot, or on the highway a car passes you, it smells like pot. The last time it was so bad I didn't know what to do. I was on Olive at 270, and the person in front of me, I think they had a party.
Well, you absolutely can. And for anybody who says, how could you smell what I'm doing in my car? If you are following a car and they are smoking, you can smell it. So you could dispel that myth. I'm telling you right now, you can smell it.
Well, and that's the thing with Rock Hill. It said ever since this proper cannabis moved in, their little industrial facility there, they've had complaints. But the complaints are escalating and becoming more frequent, and the smell is getting worse. And the city leaders have said, yes, like the frequency, the intensity of the complaints, it's a real issue. So all of those complaints were forwarded to the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services. And there is regulation when it comes to producing pot or having, your facility there, is you can't make it a constant nuisance for everyone in the area.
And I don't know what it is that you can do. I think that there are better filtration systems that you can do. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but it seems to me that would be the most difficult thing to fix, is the smell of whatever it is you're producing or processing inside some sort of plant. So I live in the Soulard neighborhood, and you can smell, but it's only at certain times. You can smell the hops. You could smell what's coming from the brewery. It's not terrible. In fact, I would say it's kind of pleasant in a way. And maybe people who live even closer to the brewery don't feel that way, but I don't mind it. When I smell it, I think, oh, there's some action going on down the street. This is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's kind of pleasant.
That's more, it's not as pungent as what marijuana is.
No, it's not. The only time where I didn't think, oh, wow, you can smell the hops, the only time where I was kind of negative about it, I'm pretty sure it was deep into a marathon. And I will say, if you're at mile 20 and feeling a little sick anyway, and you're running by the hops, that can hurt your stomach. We've got some texts come in that make a good point. So a 314 says, I get a contact high driving down Kings Highway these days. I've gotten that too. Like, oh my gosh, like you get that contact high. But a 314 says, people used to live next to cow farms full of cow manure.
Oh,
and
gosh.
Here's the thing. People still do.
Mm-hmm.
And I've stayed in the town of Colby, Kansas, which I'm not disparaging Colby, Kansas. They have the best Hampton Inn there. Love it. Stay there all the time. If I decide to split my drive to Colorado into 2 days, I stay in Colby, Kansas. Love it. Well, the fields in Colby, I don't know how people live there, to be honest. Sometimes the smell of cow manure is so strong and so bad. One, I've gagged like in the car driving, and I'm thinking, I don't think I can drive through this part of Kansas. But if it constantly smelled like that, I don't know how you live, because you go on a walk, all you smell is cow manure, and it is a strong smell. Thankfully, somehow the Hampton Inn must have good filters. You can't smell it. But I mean, I'm sure we have some farmers who are listening to the show. I think we've got a huge farmer base.
It's funny that you say this.
Okay.
Because we've spent a decent amount of time this morning already talking about University of Illinois. their basketball team. We talked about it, Champaign-Urbana. I have been there several times since college. I had friends who were from Champaign. We went to a lot of Illini, either basketball or football games. We'll go hang out in the city. It was only 45 minutes from where I went to college. So I've been there a lot. Every single time I've been to Champaign-Urbana, it smells like manure. So we've been to football games, it smells like manure. So I know they must have they got a lot of agriculture around there.
Stadium?
Yes. Yeah, just like it's in the air.
So
you said you liked horse manure.
Yeah. I don't like it. No, but I smell it.
But is it horse manure is different? I've never smelled a ton of horse manure. It's cow manure.
Whatever it is.
Because
it's manure.
If you go into a barn, house manure, horse manure is totally different. Okay, we have John watching on Facebook, and John, yes, John. He said, try being around a pig farm. Talk about reek. Do you remember months ago when I was driving down...
You mean a ham farm?
A ham farm. I was driving down 44 West, and I thought, oh my gosh, the sewage plant exploded. Because it was such a strong smell, and I kept driving, and I thought, I'm going to call the newsroom and say, you need to check out what's going on 44. It's such a strong smell. I'm going to pass out. It's terrible. And after a couple of minutes, I realized just in front of me, once I crested a hill and then sped up, because I was trying to speed up to get out of that area, there was a truck full of pigs, an 18-wheeler full of pigs. And it might be the worst smell I've ever smelled in my life.
You've never been on the highway behind a cattle truck?
Cattle, but this was pigs. Pigs
Both.
were
any
different.
of it. Cattle or pigs or livestock, anything.
So I used to ride horses, and I had to shovel a ton of manure. And I'm telling you, horse manure is nothing compared to cow manure. And cows smell different than pigs. Pigs are terrible. How do people live by the pig smell?
Well, Jacob is watching on YouTube, and he says, talk about smell. Drive in Earth City or areas around it, hot garbage.
Yes. Okay, that
There's a
happened
landfill
too.
over there, right?
I know. Oh my gosh. The landfill smell, although I don't think anyone lives in Earth City. I think it says population 4. It's all industrial. I'm not joking. People live in Maryland Heights.
Yeah, Earth City's
but they don't live in Earth City.
It's all business out there.
But oh my goodness,
Well, the Westlake, it's between two landfills. It's between Westlake and there's a landfill called Champ Landfill.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great name for a landfill. But
it's
right there between two landfills.
Yes. So we were talking about the smells, and then also in Illinois, right across the river, they have a lot of manufacturing.
Mm-hmm. And there's actually a landfill, which has been there my entire life, directly across the street from the raceway, from Gateway.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think one time I was like, is that Coquia Mounds? And they're like, no, that's the landfill. I was like, oh, I don't know, I just saw a hill. But I had some friends who grew up in, there's Greenville, and then just outside of Effingham, is it Brownstown?
That doesn't sound familiar to me.
Like Brownstown. It's all, because where's Ski Soda? Oh my gosh.
Skis in Breeze, Illinois.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
So all of those towns, Brownstown, Breeze, Greenville, a bunch of my friends ran cross country, and they said they would go on some runs where regularly guys would get sick because you run through an area where all of a sudden they're manufacturing something or the industrial or the manure, or they've just thrown manure all over the fields to fertilize them. And they said there'd be runs where half the team would start getting ill because the smell was so bad.
There is something about a product that might smell good. And I think a lot of people think marijuana does smell good, especially if you have good stuff and not the skunk. But it's that's on an individual level. You have one little thing that you're smoking. But if you are somewhere where it's being processed or made, it's so pungent. And that is true for a lot of things. And on a much smaller level, I'm pretty sure I told you about my roommate who used to work for Jimmy John's, and they would bake the bread in the place. And baked bread smells great.
But
a fresh loaf of bread, this smells fantastic. But when they are baking 1,000 loaves at once, it is it will punch you in the face. He would wear it home. It would be on his clothing, on his coat, and it would just stink up the whole place.
Yeah. Well,
it's pungent. It's awful.
To your point, a 314 says, my wife works at Proper Cannabis. Imagine how she smells every day when she gets home, and neither of us use cannabis anymore.
Man, that's true.
And again, I hate the smell of pot. And that's why I'm glad when there are buildings that are no smoking, because even when they legalized pot, you're not supposed to smoke pot. It's a no smoking building. And I was in a building in my apartment in Dogtown, which I loved. It was a shoebox apartment in Dogtown. And some days I wish I'd never left. It was so cute, probably 400 square feet. But the neighbor on the bottom floor would just smoke pot all day. Put sheets over the windows, I don't think they ever left home. And I did have to complain because one time I had 2 friends over and she's like, Amy, I have to go. It smells so bad. I'm going to be sick. And so I did complain in there. He's like, you got to stop smoking pot, man. It's terrible when it's constant.
Yes. Or like I said, as we hit the break here, I used to live close to a chocolate factory, which was downtown Chicago. And it was several blocks away. And that is a smell that on certain days at night, it doesn't smell good.
Is it almost alcoholic where it's like
no,
where it's real sharp?
It smells like the darkest chocolate you could get and they're just shoving it up your nose. It's really bad. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. Feel free to visit with us 314-436-7900 on 104.1 FM.
It seems like this weather is going to continue. The cold weather is going to continue here in St. Louis and Illinois for the foreseeable future to finish out the winter. Now, if you have been unlucky or you don't want to wait till you're unlucky and you need your furnace fixed or even replaced, call me. We can get you a furnace next day. Sometimes we, depending on the manufacturer, it's not us, but just depending on the manufacturer, if they have the parts available and here in St. Louis or Illinois, we can get you that day. But either way, if you're having problems with the furnace or you want to prevent problems with the furnace, call me, Bart Inman. One easy number, the easiest number in Missouri and Illinois, just one number. That number is 314-293-2600. Again, 314-293-2600. Or on the internet, it's Bart Inman. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
St. Louis, are you ready to go Hardy?
I woke up on the wrong side of the truck bed.
The country rock hitmaker behind Truck Bed. Wait in the truck and one beer. He's bringing his no-holds-barred live show to Hollywood Casino Amphitheater June 5th. With special guests Cameron Whitcomb and McCoy Moore. Hardy, live, loud, and unapologetic. One night only. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. For more information, KMOX.com/events.
Join Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Lose the weight or stop smoking. Guaranteed only $59.99. Saturday, March 7th at the Residence Inn by Marriott St. Louis Westport in St. Louis. Weight loss hypnosis starts at 11 a.m. Registration at 10:30 a.m. Stop smoking starts at 2 p.m. Registration 1:30 p.m.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Hey, St. Louis City SC fans, mark your calendars now. The Boys in Red return to Energizer Park to kick off Season 4 Saturday, February 21st. And you could be there for the dawn of a new golden era of St. Louis soccer. Go to stlcitysc.com/tickets and reserve your seat now for the MLS home opener versus Charlotte FC. Limited quantities remain. See you soon, St. Louis.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $40 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $18 a month, a savings of nearly $300 a year.
Whether you need a $100,000 policy or a $10 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. In a hurry? Don't worry. With SelectQuote, you can get up to $2 million in instant, affordable same-day coverage with no medical exam.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-637-9116. That's 1-800-637-9116. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-637-9116. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
Ranj?
Yes.
I don't know if you saw this, but it has to do with our favorite establishment, which would be Cracker Barrel.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, your favorite establishment.
Well, the Fenton Cracker Barrel is Matt's home barrel. There we go. So Cracker Barrel, I think this is real. It's from Fox 2/News Nation. Cracker Barrel has issued a strict new dining rule for its employees on the road for work trips. They're only allowed to eat at Cracker Barrel.
What?
In an internal message obtained by the Wall Street Journal, the company said employees are expected to eat at its restaurants for, quote, all or the majority of their meals when traveling.
Why?
It says whenever it's practical and depending on their location and schedule. Employees will not be reimbursed for alcohol purchases made during business trips, the guidelines state. Exceptions for special occasions must be pre-approved by an E-team member.
So why are they being forced to go eat at Cracker Barrel?
Now, it's for work trips.
Yeah.
Traveling for work trips. That's an important specification that I think I might not have said at the beginning.
No, yeah, you did.
Okay.
There must be some sort of relationship with Cracker Barrel, and they're making money off it. Kind of like when the Secret Service has to stay at Mar-a-Lago or wherever it is they stay.
They're not
one of the hotels.
But the fact that they're not being reimbursed for alcohol purchases, meaning that they're being reimbursed for all their meals at Cracker Barrel.
Huh.
But that's why they want them to eat at Cracker Barrel. Otherwise, they won't.
There's got to be.
This seems like a little over the top.
There's got to be a relationship with the company and Cracker Barrel, or maybe a friendship, and so that they just want that
Cracker
money.
Barrel.
It is Cracker Barrel.
Yes.
Okay.
Cracker Barrel is the
so they're
company.
just making their own money back.
Yes.
Okay. That's just still stupid. Don't you think?
So they're reimbursing the employees.
The money is staying in-house,
Yeah.
I suppose.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah,
They're still
it
paying
is.
the employees.
You're paying the employees, but they are paying you. So that money it's like a wash for them.
Yeah. Why is my brain having a hard time? But they're still eating the food.
Well, so then it's basically free for employees.
Yeah.
But then the company doesn't have to pay for their meal and something else,
I
right?
think this is a little culty. This is like
It is
I had
culty
a
for
friend
sure.
who worked at the Disney store at the mall. Remember the Disney store at Chesterfield Mall?
Yeah.
And when they
There
opened
was one at the Galleria.
Yeah, when they open the store and close the store, I'm not joking, they hold hands and sing M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E. They sing it. They hold hands and sing it.
I think that's cute.
It's not cute.
So, Amy, did you see a federal judge in Minnesota is trying to get answers from ICE about why they are not complying with certain court orders? And there was a hearing that was happening with the ICE attorney. Her name is Julie Lee.
Okay.
She's working on behalf of the U.S. Attorney's Office. And as the judge in the case was asking her why these court orders were not being honored, she says, I am here to make sure the agency understands how important it is to comply with court orders. She says, she goes on to say, I wish you would just hold me in contempt of court so I can get 24 hours of sleep. The system sucks. This job sucks.
Yeah.
I am trying with every breath I have to get you what I need. So, the clearly here, the Department of Justice, Department of Homeland Security, is just
not
really
great.
working their attorneys and putting them in bad positions. Of course they are, because it's being poorly run right now.
Yeah.
I feel bad for this person. This system sucks. This job sucks. I am trying with every breath I have to get you what I need. I wish you would hold me in contempt of court so I can get 24 hours of sleep in court, she said this. She's so tired because the DHS is run by idiots. I feel bad for her.
Yeah.
Poor Julie.
It's not a great look.
No.
Not a great look coming out of there. Well,
because what would you do if you're an attorney and you tell your client who you're representing, hey, you need to do this, and they're like, no, we're not. We're just not going to do it. You can't make them.
No. I get her frustration and fatigue. Have you ever been, if you're not really sick, like if it's not norovirus or anything like that, have you ever been kind of glad to be sick? I've been glad to be sick before because I just get to sit on the couch. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Like you don't have to do anything. You just let me sit on the couch and stare at this wall for 3 days.
You get a free day off of school. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, we had to be pretty sick because we homeschooled.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you were really sick, we didn't have to do school. But I mean, if you had a cold, you're fine.
You've been working from home forever.
I really have.
Yeah.
Bo Horvat, people probably don't know who he is, but he plays for the New York Islanders. That's a hockey team.
Yeah.
He was skating in a game the other night and had the puck, passed the puck, set up a goal, but in the middle of it, and I believe this was against the Pittsburgh Penguins, in the middle of the pass, a bird flies into him. You know how sometimes a bird gets in the mall or the airport? A bird got into the arena.
Flies into Randy Johnson's pitch?
Yes, that's exactly right. Flew down onto ice level, and he ran into the bird, and the bird hits him, and you can see him kind of flapping. Well, actually, Bo Horvat was flapping as well, and the bird. And but they scored still. He was able to not let the bird distract him.
How's the bird?
I'm not sure.
But
Bo Horvat said, quote, I ran into him, poor guy.
Yeah, he's done.
He's fine.
The bird?
Yeah.
No, the bird got smoked. The bird is dead.
He's not on the ice, though.
Oh, I bet he's bad. He's gone. He's dead. Broken wings, legs, face, and everything. Poor bird. Hockey is very dangerous for everybody, even spectators.
We appreciate the text at 314-436-7900. A lot of texts coming in supporting Cracker Barrel. Love to get to those.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. Hour 2 of the show is coming up. Our guy, Stephen Richer, who we just talked to, who's a former Maricopa County recorder and was right in the middle of the election hysteria from a couple of years ago. He had a tweet responding to Mike Johnson, and we're going to talk about that and what it means when we come back on KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends at Michael's Baths. Were you feeling a little embarrassed when the family came to visit for the holidays and all you could think about was your bathroom not quite being up to par? Now is the perfect time to plan ahead for a spring installation of a beautiful new bathroom. At Michael's Baths, we specialize in beautiful, safe bathroom remodels from tub to shower conversions to full renovations, including paint and electrical work. Call 636-775-0800 or go to michaelsbaths.com. Mike is a great guy, does great work. That's michaelsbaths.com.
Soulard is going to the dogs. Make sure to bring your four-legged friend to the streets of Soulard for the 33rd annual Purina Pet Parade, the world's largest costume pet parade. It all starts at 12th and Allen, Sunday, February 8th at 1 p.m. And KMOX's own Dave Glover will be leading the pack as the parade's Grand Marshal. Sign up today to march in the parade with your dog. The event supports Open Door Animal Sanctuary. For more details, PurinaPetParade.com. Don't miss this annual St. Louis Mardi Gras tradition, sponsored by Purina.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide.
based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you are facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. The voice of St. Louis.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
It is 10 o'clock, and right now we've got sunshine, 25 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. A crash involving a St. Louis County Police squad car has traffic tied up in the area of Earth City Expressway and Ryder Trail South. Traffic delays are anticipated until further notice. You're asked to seek alternate routes if possible. County police say their officer was conscious and alert when transported to a hospital. The other driver suffered what police determined to be life-threatening injuries and is getting treatment. Again, that is a crash involving a St. Louis County police car and another motorist, Earth City Expressway and Ryder Trail South. Border Czar Tom Homan announcing some federal agents are leaving Minnesota.
We'll draw down 700 people effective today.
Homan says that will leave about 2,000 agents in Minnesota. He says they've made significant progress working with state and local officials to arrest undocumented immigrants.
This is smart law enforcement, not less law enforcement.
Holman says those with criminal records are still the focus, but
if you're in the country illegally, you are not off the table.
He says agents have taken hundreds of people accused of homicide, assault, and sex crimes off the street.
Everybody should be grateful to that.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
President Trump doubling down on his call to nationalize elections, specifically citing districts he lost in 2020. He says he wants the federal government to take charge, even though that could violate the Constitution.
Trump's accusations of widespread voter fraud in places he lost in 2020 have repeatedly been debunked, including in Atlanta, where new body cam video obtained by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution shows FBI agents searching a Fulton County election center last week. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard said Trump personally thanked the agents in a phone call she facilitated after the search.
That's CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes. Charges have been filed against the man accused of shooting a woman dead in front of St. Louis police.
According to court documents, 68-year-old Geeshio Stevens is captured on police body cam video pulling the trigger on 67-year-old Mary Jackson on the front porch of their home Monday night. Stevens then exchanged gunfire with an officer. He's charged with first-degree murder, armed criminal action, and assault of a law enforcement officer. Court documents say that Stevens was previously convicted of voluntary manslaughter in the city of St. Louis back in March of 1974. Brad Choate, KMOX News.
From the KMOX business desk, would you pay to park at the mall? Plaza Frontenac now has a small designated lot where you'll have to pay to park. 120 paid spots out of the 2,500 total spaces. The mall's owner says the goal is to ease parking congestion. The company has already implemented paid parking at several of its other malls across the country.
Times of sun and clouds, but cold this afternoon, high 32. Clear to partly cloudy and cold tonight, low 18. For tomorrow, more clouds and sun, high 40. Friday, mostly sunny and becoming breezy in the afternoon, high 47. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Sunny and 25 degrees now in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Chris Ranji, Amy Marks Kors. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Chris Ranji, Amy Marks Kors with you. And as Ranj mentioned a few minutes ago, Stephen Richer, the former Maricopa County recorder, who was, yes, the recorder at the time of all the kerfuffle around Maricopa County during the election. And now he speaks, he writes for the Dispatch, has a recent piece in the Dispatch or contributes to them. He was on our show on Monday, was it?
We talked to him about data centers.
That's right. So let's see, was this yesterday? Yes, February 3rd. He responded to Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House. Mike Johnson was speaking about Trump calling for Republicans to, quote, nationalize elections. Mike Johnson said, quote, "We had 3 Republican candidates who were ahead on Election Day in last cycle. And every time a new tranche of ballots came in, they just magically whittled away until their leads were lost. It looks on its face to be fraudulent. Can I prove that? No." Aside from all of the issues of saying by the looks of things, it looks fraudulent just because Republicans were ahead and then they were no longer ahead, which is why you don't report on the ballots until the ballots are counted and the voting closes. I mean, that's how things happen. Leads change, per se. And being the Speaker of the House and just throwing out a conspiracy theory, that's wrong on its face. But Stephen Richer responded with actual facts and actual data.
Yeah. Well, before we get to that, let me just say about Mike Johnson, this man is not stupid. He is a smart guy. He knows better. He knows better, which is why he said it the way he said it. It looks on its face, quote, "It looks on its face to be fraudulent. Can I prove that? No." That's why he says it looks like it's fraudulent. Just like if, you're watching a basketball game and a team is losing by 25 in the second half, but they come back and win, you're going, well, something's funny about that. Yeah, because usually teams don't lose if they are, or don't come back and win if they're down by 25, but it doesn't mean it's fraudulent. That's kind of what happens. So Stephen Richer responds to him and says, "Hi, Speaker Johnson. If you tell me which 3, I'm happy to explain how ballot reporting works in that state and how it can sometimes lead to a red mirage. In Arizona, we have the opposite, a blue mirage. For example, in the November 2020 election, Democrats were winning big in all the state and county-wide elections. That's because in Arizona, we pre-process and pre-tabulate all mail ballots that are returned before Election Day. Those ballots came disproportionately from Democrats. That meant that the first results released at 8 p.m. were way bluer than the final results. When Election Day in-person votes and Election Day drop-off votes are aggregated into the county later in the evening, and over the next 48 hours, the race got redder and redder. I was a Republican candidate in Maricopa County in November of 20. I was down 90,000 votes to the Democratic candidate with the first results. I eventually came back and won. My Democratic opponent understood how it worked, did not cry foul, and conceded the race. Again, here to help. Let me know which 3. So, again, he knows, and I know, and Mike Johnson knows that there was nothing going on there that was shady. It's just how elections work, because a lot of Democrats tend to use mail-in ballots. It just, it's easy. They want to get out in front of it. And if you have the option of doing it, I mean, I like doing it. If it's an option for me, it's super convenient and it's totally transparent and safe and secure. You can even call a phone number if you really want to later on. You have to give them a little bit of time, but you can call a number or check a link, I think, in some cases, and see if your vote was counted. So I don't know. I know that Johnson knows this. I know that he knows there was nothing going on that was shady there, and he knows how it works. He just knows that he also has to play to a certain base and not give that game up.
Yes. And again, we've gone through it's worse than nonsense. Because if you say something is nonsense, you're kind of trivializing any harm that could be done. But the lie of the stolen election has done great harm to our country, to one of the pillars of democracy, which is the integrity of our elections. And the states run their own elections. That fact alone should assure skeptical voters that there is no grand conspiracy, because the magnitude of a conspiracy to have all the separate states with Republican and Democrat secretaries of state, Republican and Democrat voting election officials, Republican, Democrat, state after state, agree to some grand conspiracy to quote unquote steal the election is beyond reason. It's insane. Now, this is relevant because President Trump has said recently yesterday that he wants Republicans to, quote, nationalize the voting, which is, one, unconstitutional, and two, that would only make it easier if you centralized all the voting into one spot. Well, then, of course, and you could have some kind of conspiracy. So it's completely illogical. And as you mentioned, Mike Johnson's not dumb. He's not an idiot. He knows this.
Knows.
There's a piece in The Atlantic. I'll just get to this quickly. Then, why is Mike Johnson? Why is he agreeing with the president on this if he knows it's both unconstitutional, illogical, and unreasonable? Well, this Atlantic piece talks to House Republicans, and they have a pretty damning quote from a House Republican speaking to The Atlantic said, quote, "The reason he," meaning Mike Johnson, "is hanging on is because President Trump wants a weak speaker. He wants a speaker that essentially functions like a staff member, which is what Mike Johnson does." Former Representative Bob Good of Virginia, who was a conservative who left Congress in January, called Johnson, quote, "a puppet of the president," and said that Johnson remained speaker after Trump's election only because of the president's personal urging, and has been sadly the case throughout the year. Republicans simply surrendered to his wishes.
So what the president said was, and this was on the Dan Bongino's, on his show, his podcast, he says Republicans should say, quote, "we want to take over. We should take over the voting in at least 15 places. The Republicans ought to nationalize the voting." And anybody who is like, if you're an American and you believe in our system and the way the system works, then this should bother you. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican or Democrat. This should bother you. If you're an independent, and I guarantee you independents don't like hearing this. Democrats certainly don't like hearing this. I think there are some Republicans who hate it. There are some who think, by any means necessary, if my party stays in power, that's great. That would do whatever we have to. But either we are Americans or we're not. We either believe in the system of voting and have always believed in it, and we stick with that, or we say, well, I believe in it unless my guy loses. And then if my guy loses or my candidate loses, then I'm not so sure. Well, in that case, you just don't believe in the way we do things here. And that's, to me, it should bother people. And I think it should bother people looking ahead to this November, because I guarantee you this is being set up to question results if Republicans end up losing a bunch of seats in the House or lose the Senate, because the presidency is not on the ballot this year. But I know that's what this is. They're setting it up now. They're putting it in your head now. So be very conscious of this when November rolls around. And if Republicans lose a bunch of seats, they're going to start crying foul like, see, told you, the vote's rigged. They're doing this now so you're used to the idea. Keep this in mind.
I know we need to move on, but it's bothersome to see the Republican Party become what it's become. Jonah Goldberg had an excellent point.
Who's a conservative?
Conservatives. He's a conservative, yes. And he's a tried and true nerdy conservative. He's like eggheadery. That's what he calls it, eggheadery conservatism. And that there's a reason why William F. Buckley said conservatives, who he founded the National Review, stand athwart history yelling stop. Because progressives tended to be like, full speed ahead, and progressives, there was a whole Chesterton fence, a lot of times would say, hey, we don't need that fence. We don't know why it's here. Let's move forward. And conservatives would always kind of hold back and say, well, let's see why the fence was there in the first place. He said now, he goes, in a weird way, conservatives are also just barreling through. He's like, it's almost like two progressive parties, if you want to put it that way, in the sense that There's no concern for process anymore. And to an extreme, though, with Donald Trump and the right, where it's like full gas, right? Full throttle all the time. They're just blowing through constitutional processes, which hurts me as a process conservative. Processes are intentionally cumbersome. They put the burden of persuasion, they put a mandate on compromise, and they make our country more stable. And I know a lot of people talk about, well, with Donald Trump and his policies, and I've said this, he identified a lot of concerns that are very valid, concerns that I had. But the way he is doing it is he sees the Constitution as a hindrance and an obstruction, and he likes to be a bully, and he's very, very impulsive, and he's very, very impatient. So here's what I will say, which blows my mind as, again, the call to nationalize the elections. To level the landscape of all these constitutional protections, all these constitutional stopgaps. He wants to level the environment here. So then, of course, like I said, when President AOC or whoever can come next, no barriers to whatever she wants to do. But you're selling the soul of America, of the constitutional process, the Constitution itself, to have this king for something that is completely temporary. What do I mean? Think of the policies people like. The border immigration, the deportations, the ending birthright citizenship. You think, well, I like that. Okay. What about deregulation and energy, withdrawing from environmental agreements? The DOGE operations, social policy, getting rid of DEI programs, the tariff policies, even Trump putting his name on things. People say, oh, yeah, I like all that. Well, guess what all that is? Executive order. Because he's impatient and because he's lazy and because he doesn't want to do the work through Congress. So guess what happens when he is no longer in office? It all disappears. It can all be reversed. He has achieved nothing. Nothing will stay. It will be vapor.
I would just say this. I think if you have in the past had an issue with all the executive orders, the Obama executive orders or the Biden executive orders, then you should have a problem with this too. And if you have argued in the past for states' rights and they should govern themselves, this should bother you too. It's I think what people like me want is consistency. We want you to, if you had a problem with it before, you should have a problem with it now. If you had a problem with it when your guy wasn't president, you should have a problem when your guy is president. Be consistent. I think that's all. Folks who see things the way I see them, look at this. So if you have a problem with all these executive orders when Obama was the president, well, same thing. Okay. You have to have a very consistent message and a way of looking at things. And I know it's difficult because sometimes when it's your team, you kind of want to get behind your team no matter what, and you will twist yourself into a pretzel to make sure that you've found a way to defend your team when before you would have been against the similar action if another team had done it.
I just think like the Mike Johnsons and the Republicans in Congress who know better, they are doing the equivalent of, let's say you had a family and a life and a career and you throw it all away for one night with a prostitute because it's not lasting, doesn't mean anything. That's what this is. All of these things are going to go away. They're executive order. They have no staying power. There's no weight behind them.
Chris
They're throwing
and Amy,
it away for a prostitute.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. You can leave us a voice message on the Odyssey app. It's a great way to communicate with us, or text us 314-436-7900. We will be talking with Corey Miller from Channel 5. He is in Milan right now covering the Olympics, which about to start this weekend. Oh my gosh, the Winter Olympics almost here. This is KMOX.
St. Louis has a voice.
KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
That voice has shared our stories from headline to history.
This is Harry Carey from the beautiful new Busch Memorial Stadium.
From moment to memory.
The chase is on.
Among those voices, Bruce Bradley.
I felt better when Jimmy Carter was president, knowing that Rosalind Carter was around saying, now, Jimmy.
Working at KMOX is an honor and a responsibility to represent this community. It's one we take seriously. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Universal Windows Direct. Hopefully after 25 years together, you trust me that I only represent good companies. Universal Windows Direct is great. They have a great deal for the DGS audience. Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. 0% interest for 36 months so you can spread out your payments, same as cash. Also $500 off your home improvement project. 314-334-2522 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks VapoStick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks VapoStick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
Are you turning 65 or new to Medicare? Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at GetHumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
100 years, one legendary voice. Relive KMOX's century of service, classic audio, photos, videos, and more at KMOX100.com.
Make me wanna cry.
Well, both Matt and I heard on Total Information AM this morning that you actually do need to cry, that it's normal to cry, and if you're someone who says, oh, I'm just not a crier, not true. You're holding it in.
Really?
Yes.
That's right.
We've got the doctor here.
Yes, Fred Bottomer interviewed a doctor on crying.
Dr. Michael Mahan has had a 35-year career in behavioral health. He tells Total Information AM, crying can return your body to homeostasis.
Homeostasis is the scientific word for balance. So it's actually the very first requirement for life. If you think about what is life, the very first requirement is that it has to seek homeostasis. That is a basic function of life.
How much should you cry?
Really, the answer to that question is whatever your body needs.
So what about people who never cry?
You are clearly holding something in. I mean,
she's calling you a liar.
You are me.
Not you.
I think it's you.
What are you talking about? I'll cry sometimes.
Cry right now.
Okay, prove it. You know what? This is okay. I'm glad you brought this up.
Uh-oh.
Because I always thought that I could be a good actor,
Yeah.
but the one thing I cannot do is make myself cry.
Yeah, that's not a surprise to anybody.
I cannot. Well, no, I just think that's a skill.
If I keeled over right now, would you cry? You'd probably just be shocked.
Tears
There'd be
of
shock.
joy.
There'd be shock.
Okay.
I'd say, well, at least she's not singing. No, there would be. I would not have a. Like, it would be a shock, like sort of wow, what is going on
That's actually
here?
fair. That's a bad example because I think if you died right now, I probably wouldn't cry. I would be in shock, and I would cry later. Maybe. Not sure.
I'll tell. Here's what I will tell you.
Yeah.
I would go to your funeral.
Yeah.
And I would not look at my watch once.
Aw.
Because he forgot it that day.
Because I did forget. Because I'm so distraught.
Because you're so distraught.
No, I think I agree with that. Crying is healthy, but aren't there people who don't? Like, they can't have tears, and that's not what he's talking about. Like, there's people. Seriously, it's true. There's a thing where you cannot. You do not produce tears.
But can't you still go?
Yeah. I mean,
just dry crying.
Yeah, the dry cry.
The dry cry sounds so unsatisfying. Yeah. It sounds like the worst thing ever.
I want to see proof.
What's it called?
Probably dry crying feels like when you can't sneeze, but you have to, and it's like won't come out.
What's the? Why am I blanking on this very common term for dry vomiting? What's that called?
Dry heaving.
Dry heaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's a dry
sweating
cry.
without beads of water falling off you.
Yeah, some people don't sweat. Okay, so I do cry all the time. It is my go-to emotion because a lot of people get angry and they lose their temper.
Mm-hmm.
I cry. Like if somebody were to say something really mean to me or just like some sort of minor social, like a minor injustice, I should say, right? Like in a social setting, I would probably just cry. And when I'm scared, I cry. I don't know why that's my go-to. I've never felt like, or very, very rarely until I got this job, really, I never felt like I lost my cool. Like where I've never yelled. That's true. Like out of losing my self-control.
If you're crying too much, I think that can be a problem.
Probably.
Right? Because that means that you're...
Wait a minute. Do
you're
you
too
not
far.
cry yourself to sleep every night?
No, do you?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, I don't know. Matt, do you?
No.
When's the last time you've cried? Do you cry at movies?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
you
good.
do?
Yeah.
I'm a human.
Depends.
Okay.
It depends.
Tell me, please.
I need to think. I don't know off the top of my head.
Think about it. You
Okay.
have 2 seconds because I think it would be it would go far in humanizing you.
I am a human. I am so...
Prove it. What do you cry at?
Yeah, name one thing.
I'm trying to think of a movie. I know something got me...
I cry at Star Wars. All the Star Wars. I
You
cry.
do?
Yeah. when
I'll tell you one
when
that...
Kylo Ren kills Han Solo.
Spoiler.
I'll tell you one that does it for me. When Tony Stark is dying.
Yeah.
That
okay,
does
I have
it.
not
That
seen
does
that
it a
movie.
bit.
I didn't know he died.
What are you waiting on? That was 7 years ago.
I will cry at that. I cried at there's a really sad rheumatoid arthritis medication commercial
All
where
right,
this lady paints.
Why are we even talking?
She paints, and they show her growing up as a young girl painting, and she paints in this cottage by the sea. And then one day she's older, and she starts rubbing her hands, and then they close up the cottage by the sea because she can't paint anymore. That is so sad.
They kicked her out?
No, she had to close up her cottage because she couldn't paint.
They kicked her out. They put tape on the door and they said, you cannot come back
there was
here.
no they.
She got evicted.
They showed up and they pulled her out of the house. They said, sorry, ma'am, you can't be here anymore because you can't handle it.
I do know people who, like, I don't cry.
Oh, I know one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it because I
He's in this
accidentally
building.
said it like that?
But so our guy Kevin, love Kevin Wheeler.
Yeah, but
he does. By the way, great text message came into the station yesterday. So I just happened to. I was at home and I have access to the text line. Amy's got it too, and we just have it on our laptops. It's a website, and that's where the texts roll in. And I happened to open up my laptop. I don't know. It was like 3-4 o'clock or something. And the text screen was still open on my laptop. And there was a text message. And it said, Kevin's laugh is so hard to listen to. It's like you can hear his insides.
Pretty.
I'm like, that is the most perfect way to describe Kevin's laugh. It's like he's turned himself inside out.
Yeah.
And you can see and hear all of his guts.
Ew.
That's really funny.
It's so funny. And he doesn't cry ever. So maybe that's what it is. His laugh is compensating for his lack of emotion.
And his
lack of
anger,
crying.
maybe. But he would say, no, I'd cry if like my kid died. We're like, well, that's not what we're talking about. That's really sad.
I know.
We just mean like a movie or something silly. I cried over dropping something before. I was just sad.
Yeah. Well, you have to be sad already, and then you do something mundane, and then it makes you cry.
Yes.
Jacob watching on YouTube says Guardians of the Galaxy 3 with the animal testing made me cry.
I heard that. I did not see that one. I heard that was a tough scene to watch.
I don't remember it. And he says the Tony Stark one, you could see it coming. Like, what? It doesn't matter if you could see it coming. It was hard to watch him die.
I didn't know he died.
Let's go to Italy. Shall we? Well, we're not, but Corey Miller from KSDK is. He's covering the Winter Olympics. He is there in Milan. We're going to talk to him when we come back on KMOX.
Hey guys, it's Dave from The Glover Show, trying to explain The Glover Show. So when I was a younger man, I used to go to happy hour almost every night, and I loved it. And I've always thought of my show as being like happy hour. It's always interesting. It's often silly, but not always. You know, there are real things to talk about amongst friends, politics, and personal things. So that's what it is, really. It's happy hour for thousands of us every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m., and I hope you'll tune in and join the happy hour.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Not super warm today, but it is sunny. 28 degrees right now. Clouds giving way to some sun. A high of just 30. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy and a low of 17.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Looking for your dream home in Wentzville? Welcome to Sutton Farms by Lombardo Homes, where community and comfort come together. Enjoy resort-style living with a private clubhouse, indoor courts, a splash pad, sand volleyball, walking trails, and even a dog park. Design your own custom home in our Parkside, Nature, or Tradition series, all within the top-rated Wentzville School District. Discover the perfect blend of small-town charm and modern convenience at Sutton Farms, located off Piney Road in Wentzville. Visit LombardoHomes.com to learn more.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app.
Boy, the Winter Olympics are coming up. They just sneak up on you, don't they? And we are going live to Milan right now, where Corey Miller from KSDK is there covering it for NBC. And Corey is with us now on KMOX. How's it going, Corey?
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. You know, it can only be going so bad when you're in Italy and every meal you have is delightful. So it's going pretty well.
Is that what it's really like? Is it like when you go to the East Coast or, you go to New England and just everything is crab meat? Is it is it really like that when you're in Milan, where everything is like pasta?
Even like the grab and go stuff is like better than you would ever get anywhere else. It is really true.
It is, and again, not to spend the whole time on pasta, But it really does, because of the flour and the regulations in the EU. The flour, the pasta, the bread tastes fundamentally different, where I had the most basic tomato sauce on noodles. That's what it was. It was the most basic, simplest pasta dish. And it was so good. I'm still dreaming about it 2 years later. Isn't that true?
It is. I thought folks were lying about that, but it is true. And I was told the olive oil they use here is a big part of it also, because the bread is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I've sat down and eaten like a full pizza multiple times, and I was like, well, I'm not full, or I'm not filling, I'm not bloated. Like that's just good, and I'm go about my day. Where if I ate a whole American pizza, I'd have to go take a nap or something. But no, it's all great.
Boy, that is
the
no joke,
lack
man.
of bloating is one of Europe's finest qualities. I hate feeling bloated.
Corey, we are a couple of days away from the opening ceremony, which will happen on Friday. So what's the scene like?
Folks are just kind of getting ready here. It's, from everything I've told, this is my first Olympics, so it's all new to me. But the spread out nature of this one is just really unique and making things feel a little bit different because, half of the events are up in the mountains, and here in Milan, it's just going to be hockey, figure skating, and speed skating. So it's a little more spread out. I'll tell you, the locals don't seem too interested yet. Maybe they will once things actually get underway. They don't seem too enthused about the whole thing. But I'm sure that pride will come out once the games actually get underway, because curling is going on right now, the first kind of events of the games. But as far as actual sports are concerned, we haven't really seen anything yet. So it's going to pick up.
Corey, you arrived on Monday, you said?
I got here on Saturday, actually. So I've been here for a few days.
Is that just getting your bearings and getting ready to do all the broadcasts?
Oh, yeah, doing that, taking the train multiple places you're going to have to go, so you kind of figure it out, because it's a little complex, a little more so than the Metrolink, I would say. And even if it wasn't in another language, it would be a little bit confusing. So just kind of navigating around and checking in with the NBC folks who are overseeing us here in Milan those first couple days, and shooting some stand-ups for stories I already had in the can on our local connection to the games to kind of get ahead of the game.
Now, I know a lot of athletes are already there, obviously. The men's hockey teams, I was talking to Jordan Bennington the other day. He said, no, they would not be there for the opening ceremonies. But some of the Olympians are. Are you going to be at those ceremonies, and have you talked to any of the athletes yet?
I will not be at the opening ceremonies. I know that. Yeah, it'll be a long time before we start really seriously talking about the men's hockey team, because they still got to finish up the NHL schedule and head over there. However, I was at the women's Team USA practice yesterday, which was really cool. We have a local woman on the team as well, Joy Dunn from O'Fallon, Missouri, who has the great Dunn family hockey legacy. Her brother's in the NHL. Her sister is a former Olympian as well, so I got to catch up with her yesterday. Going to have a lot of that content on KSDK tomorrow, because their first game is tomorrow, actually. So a lot of women's hockey to start things out, and it all comes down to the United States and Canada in that matchup. They've met over and over again. They're the only two countries that have ever won gold in women's hockey, so we're going to be talking about that rivalry quite a bit.
And also on the hockey side, you've got the Kachucks who will be there. Clayton Keller is going to be there as well. I mean, there are plenty of St. Louisans who are participating in this event, not just Blues we're talking about.
Yeah, Winter Olympics-wise, I don't know if we've ever had as many athletes. Definitely not in hockey. Going back, Paul Stastny spent some time in our town, kind of claimed St. Louis. LaFontaine, way back in the day, was born in St. Louis, but didn't really have a whole lot of connecting thread to our town. No, this is different. We have 3 men and 1 woman who are St. Louis through and through, and going to represent our town on the biggest stage possible, and both teams have chances to win gold. So big Winter Olympics for St. Louis. I don't know if we've ever seen anything like it.
I know one story that has already made a ton of headlines even before the Olympics start is that Lindsey Vonn crashed the week before Olympics. Of course, one of the most decorated, if not the most decorated, downhill skier in U.S. history. She crashed, had to be airlifted off the mountain, completely ruptured her ACL, but she will be competing in the Olympics, correct?
Yeah, she had a press conference yesterday, and I actually this morning was talking about this on Channel 5 for one of my hits. Most of us, if we ruptured our ACL, we wouldn't be able to walk. She is going to ski down a mountainside. And if you just think about the physics of skiing and how important your knees are, I simply can't imagine it. But listen, she wants to go out the way she's always done her career. She's fought through a lot of injuries in the past. Nothing's keeping her from it. She was the favorite for her, at least some of her events. She's still going to try and do 3 events coming into this before her injury. She's not going to be the favorite anymore. And if she medals, I mean, that's just going to be a tremendous story. I would say it's a long shot at this point with that serious of an injury, but she's going to give it a go.
It's really interesting to see somebody try to, with that injury, try to continue to ski. Because, it would seem like it would be nearly impossible to do if you've blown out your ACL. I don't know how that's possible. I know some people can walk on it after they've done it, but skiing, I would think, would be equally as difficult.
That's what I would think, too. She did say she did some test runs either yesterday or the day before that. And, made it down. I don't know, how fast or anything, but she said, she did some testing. She's going to do some more once she gets here to Cortina, actually, up in the mountains. I don't understand. I mean, these Olympic athletes operate on another level. Yeah. We already knew that. This is a whole different kind of level.
Corey, just because, it's a dream for so many of us, a dream that will never come true for so many of us, to go to an Olympics. It's just a big deal. It's hard to get tickets. It's expensive. You never even know what events you're going to. So for those of us who aren't there, what is the vibe so far? I get that it's early and the games haven't started, but is it so far better than you expected? Is it, wow, there's a lot of drudgery and downtime? How is it?
I'm holding off judgment until the games start because I really think that's going to kick things into high gear. Now, the Duomo, which is the Milan Cathedral, which is really going to be the centerpiece of most of the coverage you'll see on NBC probably. It's like the arch to St. Louis. Mm-hmm. It's Milan's thing. It is quite breathtaking, and you come up from the metro tunnel and you see it first thing, and it really is awe-inspiring. It kind of gets you excited for everything. The folks who are going up in the mountainside are definitely going to get a taste of that Olympic feel because you'll actually see some snow and whatnot. Here it's been a little bit rainy. It's going to be on and off. That's kind of how it is around here during this time. But once the games begin, I'm sure me, like everybody else, is going to get caught up in it. I've loved the Olympics since I was a little kid. So to just even be around these venues, and I got to walk into not the main hockey arena, but the secondary one and the speed skating arena. It really does, you get the moments where you're like, oh my God, I'm actually here. This is real. So it's starting there. I think it's going to kick in a couple days.
So you're not jealous about your assignment?
Hey, I'm over here eating great food,
That's
and
right.
I get to talk about
That's
hockey.
right.
Get to talk about hockey for like 3 weeks in a row. So it could certainly be worse.
Wait, what's your per diem like?
I have not inquired too much because I think it's just, stay within your means and don't go too crazy, and I think everything will be fine.
Okay.
So, the things are not that expensive over here either. So,
espresso is capped at like $1 or $1.50 or something.
Yeah,
they can't charge a lot.
I
in
wish
Italy.
I wish I was a coffee guy.
Oh,
I feel like
my
I'm
gosh.
missing out. But
Wow.
You are.
It's just not my thing, and everybody's offering it to me like every single second of the day, and
What?
I feel really bad saying no.
Oh,
Corey, this is so-
you're gonna
it's
make us look like
wasted on
dumb
you.
Americans. Oh my gosh.
I know. I'm embarrassed when I say no. Listen, I'm gonna go for it at some point. But I know myself.
Yeah.
It's not going to catch on. I'll try it, but I know myself.
Just I want you to go to one restaurant and order the buffalo chicken pizza and see what they say.
The buffalo chicken.
They would hate you so much. What?
Oh my gosh! I wish I would have taken a picture of this. At one of the pizza places I went to, it was like there was something American it said on there. They had French fries on the pizza.
What?
In Italy?
Yes. And it was called like the American pizza or something.
They don't even know. They're like,
so-
what do they put on the pizza?
What are these fat people want?
They do French
What are you doing with a
fries?
French accent?
I don't know. It's the only one I have.
They
Put
are.
French fries. It does not matter.
They're mocking us.
They are mocking us.
They put French fries
It's
on their
called
pizza.
the Big Dumb American
Yeah.
Pizza. Yeah.
Is that what it was called? It's probably something pretty in Italian,
Yeah.
and then you translate
Yeah.
it.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it was Italian something American, but I saw American in the phrase. Oh, what's on that? Oh, French fries.
Yeah, that's really, really funny, and they're 100% mocking us. I will say, just going back to like the Athletes Village and how you talked about covering hockey, the women's hockey teams are there, and some of the Canadian team members showed a video of them on Instagram rearranging their bedrooms. They're basically cots. They're like these wooden cots in these tiny little dorm rooms. It is very sparse, rather Spartan, you could say. And Ken Hitchcock, who coached Team Canada for multiple Olympics, did say when you have these NHLers at these Olympics, it's interesting how the individual athletes handle it because, yes, it's the Olympics, but when you're in the NHL, you stay exclusively at Four Seasons and Ritz-Carltons. You just do. You stay at the nicest hotels across the country, and when you're in the Olympic Village, it is not the Four Seasons. It's pretty sparse, and he said that there are actually some athletes on the hockey teams that handle it better than others. I want to say that when NBA players go, they don't stay in Athletes Village. They're like, no, we're going to stay at the Four Seasons. But, yeah, they said kind of the Spartan nature of the Athletes Village. You think it's going to be big, sexy, and fancy, but it's really not.
We had some folks from our NBC group able to get in there yesterday. They didn't let them in the rooms, but, of course, we've seen people posting about the rooms. My hotel room is not, everything's smaller over here in Europe, and my hotel room is not very big, but it seems bigger than what the Olympians have, which doesn't feel quite right to me, but, I'll take it. Yeah, I don't think the NBA players stay in the Athletes Village. Number one, they're too famous, and number two, they're too tall. So I don't know how they fit on that bed.
They couldn't sit on the cot. The wooden beds or the cardboard beds. Remember the cardboard beds?
Yeah.
They were supposed to
I
cut
remember,
down on sexy time.
Sochi, when they had to throw their toilet paper in the trash because the plumbing wasn't working.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, at least you don't have that problem. It seems
we haven't hit that yet.
It
so
seems
that's
like
good.
Milan has its stuff together for this Olympics, and we're looking forward to watching. We hope you enjoy yourself out there, Corey, because you get to be in Italy for 3 weeks. So do the best you can.
Yeah, I know. Tough assignment. Tough luck.
Thank you, Corey.
Thanks, Corey.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Corey Miller, KSDK, covering the Winter Olympics in Milan right now. Do you realize this is the first? So the 2022 Olympics, they still did not have spectators, or there were limited spectators because of COVID.
But not the summer.
The Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
We're talking about this is the first Winter Olympics since then. And also I saw that the United States has not medaled in cross-country skiing in 46 years. Wow. 46 years. We haven't
wild
medaled?
Fact.
I know.
So I got to find out my figure skating fact because I heard something like we're very, very high on the U.S. Olympic figure skating team this year.
Yeah.
But somebody
It's
said
one of
something.
the-
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's one of the best teams.
Yes. I thought it was medaled. I was like, that can't be right, that it's been years since we've medaled.
So women have not won a gold since 2002
wow.
in figure skating.
Wow. Well, there you go. There's a lot to look forward to. Also, Jacob watching on YouTube makes a good point. He says, KMOX still has time to send Chris and Amy to the Olympics. Do the right thing.
Well, that would mean that we could get something done in a short period of time. We still haven't fixed the heat yet. So it's been going on for months.
Get the internet to work.
Chris and Amy on KMOX. Stefan Denev from the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra will join us at 11 o'clock on the show.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T.
Happens to most guys after 40. I was in the same boat until I started using Nugenix Total T2.
Total T2, the new one I've seen on TV.
Yep, it's the next generation testosterone booster for both free and total testosterone. It's packed with even more man-boosting power, sending nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours.
It actually works?
I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I've got more energy, better results in the gym, better in the bedroom. Send them a text and get a complimentary bottle.
Text now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 testosterone brand at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 369-369. AREA to 369-369. AREA to 369-369.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The Humane Society of Missouri's Day of Giving is just around the corner. On this day, your favorite local TV station will highlight incredible rescue stories of animals fighting to survive, stories of courage, resilience, and hope. Visit the Humane Society website to watch these powerful stories and see the life-saving work made possible by compassionate donors like you. These stories underscore why it's so vital to support the HSMO. Go to KMOX.com/events today for more information.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings, up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA.
Soulard is going to the dogs. Make sure to bring your four-legged friend to the streets of Soulard for the 33rd annual Purina Pet Parade, the world's largest costume pet parade. It all starts at 12th and Allen, Sunday, February 8th at 1 p.m. And KMOX's own Dave Glover will be leading the pack as the parade's Grand Marshal. Sign up today to march in the parade with your dog. The event supports Open Door Animal Sanctuary. For more details, PurinaPetParade.com. Don't miss this annual St. Louis Mardi Gras tradition. Sponsored by Purina.
The Chris and Amy Show, providing hard-hitting news.
Horse manure is nothing compared to cow manure.
And thoughtful commentary.
Cows smell different than pigs. Pigs are terrible.
Only on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Well, I don't think that's the best representation. Actually, it probably is.
Of this show?
Yeah. It's probably
it's
pretty
damn
close.
close.
We hit, we had a text that said, I'm really enjoying the excrement conversation. And when we got that text, it did make me realize, I think we talk about excrement a lot.
The segment was not about excrement. It was about how bad pot smells when it's being manufactured. And
then we were talking
about Champaign Urbana, how it always smelt like a farm to me every time I visited. And then you were talking about pig trucks. So
the pig truck, I thought the sewage plant had exploded in South City. I was about to call the newsroom and say, you guys got to come out here. 44 and Hampton, something happened, man.
And
Something bad happened.
They would have said, you do it.
Yeah, no, and it was a pig truck I was following.
So, text messages to 314-436-7900. We were talking about crying and that it being good for you. You should do it.
That's why I'm so
that you should
healthy.
hold it in.
I cry all the time.
Roger from Evansville says, I cry at the end of A League of Their Own when the ladies gather years later at the Baseball Hall of Fame, and several have passed away.
Roger from Evansville, I would hug you right now because I was actually going to say that, and I thought it was too random. I mean, like everything I say is random, and it's like, how much do I want to present myself like the idiot that I am? And I, for some reason, I thought, well, no one would be interested in this. I can't even watch A League of Their Own because I know that's coming, and they show the old pictures of all the real ladies who played, and
what's the kid's name?
Sob uncontrollably.
The kid's name Milhouse or something. What is it?
Something like that.
And he's a big old dude.
I don't know. Roger is so spot on. Roger, even my mom, like when I was a kid, my mom's like, Amy, you know, be careful. You cry so hard at this movie.
There's a texter who says they cry at the greatest game ever played. It's a golf movie. It's when Francis's dad gives him $1. I don't know that scene, but that made me think of one that did it to me years ago. I haven't seen the movie in a very long time. Do you know Russell Crowe is in it? It's called Cinderella Man. And it's about
I've heard of it. The boxer.
It's about the boxer.
Yeah.
And there is a scene where he is at his lowest point and he and his family are struggling to get by, and he goes to this club where he knows a bunch of rich people, and he is not, and he holds his hat out and he's asking them for money. And it is like, oh man, it just kicked me in the gut because this man was at his lowest point and he had nothing. And he was so embarrassed to go ask for help. That did it for me. Oh, I did not like that scene at all. I hated it.
How long ago was that?
Well, the movie's like 20 years old.
Okay.
I don't remember when I saw it. Probably 15 years ago or something. Oh, but that did it to me.
So I did have a texter ask, Amy, do you cry at Hallmark shows? Sometimes. It depends on the show, depends on the movie. There are a couple scenes where I've cried. Generally not the goofy love stories. I don't cry. There was, I can't even say it, the saddest Golden Girls episode ever.
Oh my God.
No, it's so sad. It's when, you know how there's Dorothy and then her mom. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking now and I feel so embarrassed. Our texter will fill in. But the son died.
Oh.
And he would cross-dress. And so the mom didn't accept him.
Oh.
And then he died, and she wouldn't accept him until the very end at the funeral. She accepts him. I can't even say the phrase she says because it's so sad, and I sobbed uncontrollably.
Is Dorothy the one that was...
B. Arthur.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought she was the one that was loose with the men. You know what I mean?
No. That was Rue McClanahan, a.k.a.
was
Blanche.
always out and about on the town.
Yeah.
Good for her. She was living life.
The episode where the son dies, like I said, the phrase is so sad.
When we come back, St. Louis Symphony Orchestra's music director, Stefan Denev, will be here in studio. A lot of February concerts are happening, and you should know about them. We'll talk to Stefan when we come back on KMOX.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
This is an important message for all parents of teens. If your teen or preteen is or has been addicted to social media sites such as Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, or YouTube, and they have suffered from eating disorders, body image issues, anxiety, depression, or suicidal thoughts, you may be eligible to participate in a lawsuit for significant compensation. Disclosures by a Facebook whistleblower show Instagram and Facebook know their social media platforms were highly addictive and may have caused eating disorders.
Advertising Specialists, LLC is responsible for the content of this ad with principal offices in Chicago, Illinois.
Let's be honest. The hearing aid industry is broken. Overpriced clinics, pushy appointments, bills of $5,000 or more. That's the trap they hope you fall into. Don't let it happen. Audien Hearing is the escape. Their FDA-registered hearing aids cost just a fraction of the big brands, starting at only $98. Instead of paying as much as $5,000 plus all the doctor appointments and wasted time, you get what you need with no prescriptions, no office visits, no time wasted, and no crazy price tag. Call 800-700-HEAR. That's HEAR. Audien's cutting-edge devices are rechargeable, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. Try them risk-free for 45 days with lifetime support and real human help just a phone call away. Over 1 million people have already said yes to Audien Hearing. Join them. Don't let them take advantage of you. Break free from the trap. Call now 800-700-HEAR. That's HEAR for a very special offer. 800-700-HEAR or 800-700-4327.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here for FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of KMOX, and it's last call for football all week long, and FanDuel is giving you a daily profit boost every single day leading up to the big game. So today's 30% profit boost is on the receiving markets. So receiving yards over under, alt receiving yards, most receiving yards, a lot of choices there. So JSN of Seattle is really high on the total right now of 93.5 receiving yards. But what if you took an alt line at 80 yards or more and then have the odds boosted? Well, all you have to do is opt in each day and place an eligible bet to use that day's profit boost. So whether you're locking in early lines, riding your favorite props, or taking one last swing before the final whistle, FanDuel's giving everyone something extra to cheer for during football's final week. So play your game with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. Remember, must be 21 or older and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At 11 o'clock, we have a sunny sky, 27 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Tom Ackerman. Our top story this hour, authorities in Arizona have been searching for Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy, since Sunday. They believe she has been abducted. Officials are saying they're testing what appears to be blood that was found inside of her home and are looking into the authenticity of a possible ransom note. CBS's Andres Gutierrez is in Tucson, Arizona.
Investigators confirmed that DNA evidence was found inside that house. They are right now testing that at a state lab. They don't know who the suspect is. They don't have a person of interest. There have been no one who has been arrested. And right now, that's why they're leaning heavily into the video and digital evidence in this case.
A St. Louis County man is charged with abandoning a corpse after police found his roommate dead in their apartment near North Handley and I-70. Officers say the deceased woman's neighbors had not seen her since mid-December. Her body was found underneath some blankets and clothes. County police arrested 49-year-old Terrence Smith on Monday after the apartment complex's leasing office let them know he was back in town. The smell of marijuana has gotten so strong, Rock Hill residents are calling on city leaders to do something about it. Rock Hill Municipal Code requires all cannabis facilities to have odor control systems and that the smell must not be detectable by a person with a normal sense of smell beyond its facility. A spokesperson for Proper Brand, which has a 100,000 square foot cannabis facility in Rock Hill, says the company can't completely eliminate the smell. Rock Hill's city attorney told Proper to find a solution. The Missouri Senate's Education Committee heard bills Tuesday that would allow for open public school enrollment across the state. If approved, students could transfer to qualified schools even if they don't reside in that district. Brandy Johnson, who has a son in the St. Louis Public School District, testified that open enrollment would improve her child's education.
Senate Bill 906 and Senate Bill 971 would give families like mine options when our current school cannot or will not or refuse to meet our children's needs.
Opponents argue the bill would leave rural schools behind and create transportation issues. A similar House bill was filed last year but never made it to the floor. From the KMOX Business Desk, a massive tech proposal in Midtown could soon face new city hurdles.
The $3.1 billion complex could become the test case for how St. Louis handles the AI boom. Developers want to turn the old famous bar warehouse on Market Street into a nearly 500,000 square-foot data center next to the Armory. The project comes just as city planners acknowledge they can't compete with the suburbs for massive, sprawling server campuses because of a lack of space. Consequently, the city's new draft rules are tailored more toward edge data centers. Those are the facilities that sit closer to the users that they serve. While it's still not clear if the new zoning laws impact the Famous Bar project, the city says these urban-focused centers are essential for expanding high-speed networks without destroying the neighborhood feel. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Dow is up 283 points to 49,524.
A cold day today with intervals of clouds and sun and a high of 32. Partly cloudy tonight. It'll be quite cold, low 18. More clouds and sun tomorrow with a high around 40. Friday, plenty of sunshine and becoming breezy in the afternoon, high 47. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's 26 in Florissant, 27 in St. Peters. We have a mostly sunny sky, 27 degrees downtown at the Arch. Weather sponsored by Financial and Tax Strategies. Rewind and share this newscast with the Odyssey app. I'm Tom Ackerman, KMOX News.
Retirement shouldn't feel like balancing a checkbook while blindfolded. I'm Gary Goldberg, and my team helps you see the big picture so you can retire younger, richer, and with less anxiety. Because guessing is not a strategy. Tune in to Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg Saturday mornings at 7 here on KMOX.
Proudly serving St. Louis for over 100 years. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
It is February, and it is a fantastic month for shows at the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. And we've got with us in studio music director Stefan Deneve, who is joining us once again. Stefan, it's good to see you. How are you?
Good to see you. Bonjour to everybody.
We're happy to have you, and there is a lot happening here this month. There's a lot of Mozart, it seems like, is happening here. You got a couple of different shows.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are celebrating Mozart in almost a kind of mini 2 weeks festival, because we start with a movie, one of the best ever made, Amadeus.
Love it.
It's amazing, no?
Love it.
I'm very excited. I don't know how many people in the room will be young enough maybe to see it for the first time, but what a luck to hear it for the first time with the orchestra and the chorus playing the music live to the movie.
And that's not something that you do a lot, right?
No.
With the films.
It's very rare. I did only... two films in my life, which is E.T. of Williams, because I love this, and another movie with the music by Prokofiev and Alexander Nevsky. This will be my third movie ever, and I'm studying. I have so much fun because it's extremely well done, and especially at the end there is this scene where Mozart is composing the Requiem live and dictating the score to Salieri, who he doesn't know is his enemy. And actually in the movie, which is not true, but in the real life, but in commissioning the piece, the Requiem. And it's amazing because it's you have the feeling you see the genius in action, just creating this piece live, and we conduct it with, we play it with the orchestra and the singer all together. It will be super exciting.
So just from a technical perspective, so people know what they're in for, you're showing the movie and all the musical parts the orchestra is playing.
Yes, I'm not doing the speaking text.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not replacing the actors. I wish, actually. I would love that. But no. So all the sound effects and the... actually, even more. There are some singers within the movie, some soloists in the movie, where their voice is still there and the orchestra is accompanying live a voice that is recorded. But mostly all the choir parts and the symphonic part are played live. Piano concertos, everything is just replaced by a live performance.
I'm fascinated by that. So how is that done? Is it who is responsible for removing the music from the film part that they give to you to play while you're accompanying it?
So there are like multiple channels, and they remove the channels of all the music, so the movie is clean.
That's awesome.
And then I have a TV with a streamer, which means it's a bar line that moves and some indication of the tempos. So because I have to, of course, be very accurate with the speed of the movie. So I'm not fully free, at least not in tempo-wise, but I'm free to create the sound I want and the emotion I want, of course.
My family and I, we all went to the Back to the Future at the Symphony. We saw that one, which was really fun. You're watching the movie, but the score is played right in front of you. Going back to Mozart, because you said like the movie Amadeus, and you said it's wonderful because you can see the genius in action. The longer you are in the position that you are in this field of music, do you find that your wonder grows? Do you have more wonder now, or does it make more sense to you now?
Both. Of course, it makes always more and more sense, but when you encounter pure genius, and we have so many in classical music, I mean, all the composers and Mozart, Beethoven, and Brahms, and Ravel, and Stravinsky, and whoever, the more I know, the less I understand what it's coming from. It's where it's coming from. It's just magic why music is so alive. And sometimes some music is so close to not be great, and then a little tweaks, a little something. It's quite fascinating. And Mozart is a great proof of that, actually, because he lived only 35 years. But during those times, he wrote so many pieces. And it's amazing to see why in the same type of language, the same type of expression, suddenly one of his pieces is just like the ultimate masterwork, and one is maybe less. And that's impossible sometimes to really know exactly why. But we will promote his genius for 2 weeks, because the week after we are performing an opera in concert, The Magic Flute, which is the last opera that he wrote. So that's another amazing moment for me.
I'll just say this too, that I feel like I have so much to learn about music. Every day I'm learning more, and even something like the John Williams documentary that talks about the scores he made for Star Wars, for instance. And it's not only the music, but also the arrangements and the instruments used, and how the choice of the French horn over a different instrument changed it.
It's like a painter, you choose a different color, and why do you put this type of blue instead of green? Well, that's exactly what composers do, choosing the different instruments. I have to say, this is one of the great thing when you go to see a symphony concert, is that you see the orchestra, and so you see who is playing, and it's a show. It's just fascinating to see. It's a huge group, right? We are usually kind of 90 people on stage, sometimes more. With chorus, we can arrive to almost 200 people sometimes, and it is just fantastic to see right away which instruments enters and how does it change. Indeed, the color of the sound, this kind of thing. It's and by the way, you don't need to know anything. You just come and enjoy music. There's nothing to know before. Just come with your heart and let you be submerged by emotion. That's our job.
We are with Stefan Deneve of the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. We were talking about Powell Hall, and we've spoken since the renovations and just how magnificent of a building it is. And I know this cliche gets thrown out a lot when it comes to arenas and stadiums and any sort of theater, that there's no bad seat in the house. But you have said that there is literally no bad seat in this house if you want to hear the music.
What is incredible is that this hall is already legendary. I mean, we're very lucky here in St. Louis to have one of the best acoustics in the world. But we wanted to improve it during the renovation, because the seats that were under the balcony could be a little bit less warm in the sound. And so we put some reflectors, moved a little bit the wall, and et cetera, et cetera. And what a risk, because acoustics are a little bit mysterious. But we had a great, of course, company that was working with us. I mean, one of the best in the world. And now I can say, really, with the greatest of relief, we did that. We did improve, and there's no bad seat. The only thing I would say is that you have different sound. So if you are in the very, very first row in front of the orchestra, of course, you will, in the first row, you will hear the instrument very close to you physically, and the balance will be different. And then if you are in the balcony, it will be a more general image of the sound. But I have to say, I think everybody should try in their life once the very last rows of the whole.
The last row.
Very high. You are like 170 or 180 feet away from the stage. But see, if somebody whispers there, you can hear exactly what is said. It's magic. And once again, there's no amplification, right? When we play classical concerts, it's just purely vibration from one instrument to your heart. It's quite incredible.
That was kind of what we were talking about, Matt. You went recently, and you were saying, the sound was so clear and right there. You're like, well, it had to be some kind of speaker, right?
Yeah, I was up pretty close, and this is for Handel's Messiah, and just the volume and the clarity of not only the vocalists but the instruments. I thought, I see some microphones on stage. Are they actually being piped through the speakers right now? But that's not the case.
No, it was only recorded for archival recordings or radio, of course, broadcast. But the microphone you see are not there to amplify anything. No, we do amplify some of the music that we do for movies or some pop show with amplified artists to balance the sound. But all the classical concerts is just the sound of the whole. But yes, the whole is an instrument, and it amplify, magnify, sublimize the sound in such a way. It's magic here.
It's amazing.
It is such a fascinating place. You had spoken about it when it first reopened. What sort of feedback are you getting from people who have been there? I imagine it's as good as I think it is, right?
They come back and with a big smile, because not only they enjoy, of course, the hall that they love, and it's even improved acoustically and it looks great with the new lighting, but before, at intermission and after the concert, now we can really welcome them in a modern way. We have the new grand lobby with this amazing spiral staircase, which is a place to Instagram yourself. And
Amy loves to do that.
And we do parties before, after. I mean, I did enjoy a few times really having a drink in the lobby after the concert with members of the audiences, and it's just a beautiful place. It's very open. There's a lot of light entering. Yet we preserve the grand foyer, this very Versaillesque, to speak French. Grand foyer is still there, so you can have this, old school grandeur, but the new grandeur together. So there is really a lot of different offering now, not only when you are inside of the hall.
Is there something, I know there's something scientific, I just don't know what it is, but we were talking earlier today about some people who cry very easily, that's me, and people who don't cry very easily at all, but it is a very natural human emotion to cry, even if you're someone who doesn't think they cry easily. I ask this because I have listened to, orchestral pieces, and like I said, I've been to the symphony where it's like I can't stop myself, like my eyes are welling up with tears, and I'm thinking, what's happening right now? Because it's not like I'm thinking sad thoughts or happy thoughts.
No.
It's almost like a vibration that somehow makes you emotional.
Well, first, I'm happy to see that you're human. That's good news.
Yes.
Well, barely.
Well, kind of. We're not sure.
Barely.
And the other thing is, yes, indeed, it's actually an emotion that is just because of the quantity of it's not about sadness or happiness or whatever. It's something else. It's just you are vibrating, and indeed, music is a shortest path, from one heart to another, and you feel it. It's given to you as a gift that make you full of something that you want to express, and your body wants to get a relief of it with tears. And I'm very touched to see that people really react a lot with that, and they cannot always exactly explain what type of emotions they have, but it's overwhelming. Myself on stage, I have to be careful. It happened a few times that I started to have tears and wanted to cry. It happens. It's dangerous because I need to still be in charge and still be lucid and be careful about leading the orchestra. But I tell you, it's just a flow of emotion. It's something rare. That's why, by the way, in our world that is so much digital and so fast, I think we have a great future, classical music. I'm very, very enthusiastic and very optimistic because we are an antidote to this thing. You are in a hall and together, and you don't look at anything else than musicians making music, and you feel this emotion shared collectively without anything even electronic, digital. It's just magic, and it's so human. So I'm glad you feel human.
Last thing, Stefan, before we say goodbye here, we were talking about the Mozart experiences that are happening, but on the 15th, you have the Tina Turner experience called Eternal, that's totally unique.
Well, it's so great that we celebrate this St. Louisan here, and that it's a collaboration with St. Louis City. And I tell you, that will be very special. We have great artists coming, and you will, of course, hear most magnificent hits. And I know there is a sense of pride and excitement about celebrating such an icon. And I think, yes, it's great to also on this occasion to meet other type of audiences and and to see that we are all together celebrating good music.
Yeah.
The great Tina Turner. Simply the best.
It's very good. That's going to be really cool. It starts February 15th. If you want tickets for any of the shows, it is slso.org. I love Mozart. I love Amadeus. Yeah. I think I'm going to catch that one because that's one of my favorite movies. Really, really looking forward to that one.
Be careful. It's last tickets. It's very high demand, and I'm very, very happy with that.
Okay, very good, man. It's so much fun to have you in studio. Thank you for coming in.
Always a pleasure to be here, really. I can't wait to be back.
Can't wait to have you back.
slso.org for tickets, but leave me a couple before you go there. Stefan Denev with us. Thank you for coming in again.
Merci beaucoup. Have a great day.
Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Start your day with an edge. Total Information AM. It's like breakfast for your brain.
I wake up, I turn on the news.
I gotta listen 3 or 4 times every day.
Debbie Monterey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman.
I like to wake up with the news.
Total Information AM.
It's where I get my news. Traffic conditions and potential weather that's coming.
Total Information AM. Weekdays 5 to 9.
I like to turn it on and just get caught up.
Where I get my news. The news, weather, and traffic.
On the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Drury, today and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120. Visit Lance, DRURY law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Can I take your coat?
Oh, you noticed. Yeah, I found it on eBay from a seller in Vegas. Pre-loved and perfect. She listed it and jackpot. Italian leather, classic trench silhouette. And did you see the braided buckle?
Hang on to your claim ticket.
Oh, I'll hang on to this forever. Have you been on eBay? There's so many finds. And I bet that diving watch would sell fast. Just saying.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand.
Is it really great?
I know that I can be a lot and that sometimes I come across as unlikable and I think people don't like me. And I don't mean to do that. Like, I try really hard to be nice and then sometimes I get irritated And I feel bad about myself. Anyway, I'm saying that because I think most people assume that you're the real jerk.
Mm-hmm.
And I have great news. It is not the two of us.
What do you mean?
It is Matt Pajeski, who is the worst person in this room.
He's a very bad guy.
I got no respect.
Well, it's not. You have to earn it. You don't just get it for free, man.
Yeah.
I've done so much for you, people.
Well.
Day after day.
Oh.
Matt, I don't even know how you're going to broach this topic because I almost don't want to do it.
No, I'm okay doing it.
Well, let's just set this up real quick by saying earlier we had the conversation about Plaza Frontenac going to some paid parking spaces.
Right.
And then we brought up the idea, well, hopefully, they won't force people who
need the garage because a lot of them are in the garage
to be closer. And I said, well, handicap spots, they're not going to touch those.
I hope they don't charge for those.
Yeah, they're going to charge you to park in a handicap spot. There's no way they would do that. They would get absolutely buried.
Because that's a horrible thing to do.
What kind of person would even come up with the idea of charging people for a handicap spot? There's no such ogre out there. There's no person who is so terrible who would even come up with an idea like that. So we just wanted to set it up by telling you that part, and then Matt Pajeski would like you to know what?
What?
Oh, nah. Well, when you put it like that, it does sound kind of bad. Well, I would like to preface it with something a little different. Not to get serious, but we talk a lot about politicians and government and how people in power take advantage of their power and do things for their own personal use. I totally get that.
What?
I was thinking, okay, if I was in power, what would I do? What silly little pet peeve aggravates me so bad that if I had the power to do something about it, I think I would. This would be my one jerk move as a politician. So when I'm parking in the Brentwood Promenade, for example, or any huge parking lot of a Walmart or grocery store, there are so many parking spots that aren't being used. A lot of them are handicapped. A lot of them are for police. A lot of them are for pregnant mothers, curbside pickup, and then the shopping carts. And then the people who are actually shopping at the store park a mile away. I just think we're kind of overdoing it with the reserved spots for not just one group, but for many different groups of people. There are so many spots that aren't getting used for some of these big chain stores. And I know it sounds bad now that I put it out on the radio.
Let me agree with you on the special parking for police. You're in a squad car. You can park wherever you want. No one's going to tow you. Just park wherever you want.
On the curb?
Yeah,
Probably.
just park on the curb. Yeah. Do whatever you want. That's stupid.
What about the prego ladies? Aren't you going to be nice to them?
You can get a little bit closer, but man.
How many pregnant spots should there be? At Trader Joe's?
Matt, what Pajeski is trying to say is if you can walk around Target inside, you can walk to Target.
Yeah.
So you could park a mile away.
My biggest thing is the amount of curbside pickup spots. I know that was a thing during COVID. I feel like we're past that. I don't know why half the parking lot still needs to be reserved for pickup orders.
I think it's more about they just haven't gotten rid of them.
Let's get rid of them.
Because let me tell you that if one of those spots is open, I will many times park in one.
The curbside pickup?
Yeah, because nobody's using them for curbside.
There are
the volume of curbside
users pickups that I think probably were developed, were painted on, where signs were placed during COVID.
Yeah.
Because I will agree, there are so many reserved spots. Now, here's the thing. I can't complain because I park far away anyway because the chaos of the front of the store stresses me out so bad. People are waiting for that first spot, and then people are backing up willy-nilly, and everyone's coming out of the store. If you park at the very, very back, it gives you some space to breathe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I will say there have been some stores, I'm trying to think if it was a hardware store or a Target or both, where even for me, I had to park far away because there were, the carts and the handicap parking, that's fine. And then curbside, pickup or waiting, which is a lot at a hardware store. And then so many other reserved spots that you had to park. It did feel like a half a mile away.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. And most of them were not being filled. Maybe all the spots are a great idea. Maybe there's just too many.
I think, that's a great way to put it.
So you have a problem with people in wheelchairs?
Oh, my gosh.
No.
And who have, must use crutches?
No, but if you think about it, they have wheels, so they should be able to travel.
See, what do you think of...
Wow.
I don't know.
You want people... you know how people drive in parking lots?
Yeah.
So you want somebody who's rolling in a chair and who's not tall, right? So it's harder to see them.
No, it's
Wait.
not.
You want them... Yes,
no,
it is.
he's not complaining about that. Here's a texter
You want them
that
to
says...
have to... Because they're on wheels, you want them to go a long distance? That's what you're
No,
saying.
The ADA requires a certain number of handicapped spots. This is from a texter, based on the overall number of spots, and they have to be at the nearest accessible route. Bigger the lot, more ADA spots. So I think Matt is fine with those. I think what pushed him over the edge is probably the curbside pickup, the 10-minute parking, everything else.
And those expectant mothers. No.
Oh, my God.
They're okay.
We're going to get killed.
This is a bad idea. We shouldn't have done this.
I can't believe we let him talk.
This is why
We're going to get in so much trouble.
I'm just kidding. They can park wherever they feel like.
Wow.
I will say this. No,
Jeez.
like I said, he's not complaining. I got to come to Matt's defense. He's not complaining about the handicapped spots, but it did seem that post-COVID, there was a number of reserved spots exploded. Non-handicap reserved spots, just like other spots.
Yeah. Takes up half the lot.
I don't know how we're going to recover from this.
I don't think we can. Well, I'll tell you how we can. We just disown him. We could just be like, we didn't. Hey, that's his opinion, not ours. There's no way.
Now I feel like crying.
Oh. Well, you know what? Here, you know what's a great way to not spend money? You can't get into Target anymore because the parking spaces, there aren't enough of them. But our next guest for the Midday Midlife is going to teach us how to not spend so much money and also how to maybe raise kids to be more money savvy. Dr. Willie Jolly, the author of Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better, joins us next on KMOX.
St. Louis has a voice.
KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
That voice has shared our stories from headline to history.
Martin Luther King was killed by an assassin's bullet tonight.
From moment to memory.
It's a strike call! A no-hitter for Gibson!
Among those voices, Charlie Brennan.
Well, we've got lots to talk about, despite our listeners' letters to the contrary.
Working at KMOX is an honor and a responsibility to represent this community. It's one we take seriously. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Call 877-WINDOWS. That's 877-WINDOWS. Or head to rbastl.com.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
It is 29 degrees. I feel like it's gotten cloudier, even though the clouds should give way to at least some sun today. A high of 30, clear to partly cloudy tonight, and cold again, a low of 17.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey, and I think right now we all need something to look forward to, and a nice little getaway is going to do it for me. So I've been looking at this 5-day Arizona trip that I planned in September, and to me it sounds absolutely perfect, and I would love for you to join me. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to stay in Flagstaff because that means cooler temperatures. It's a great home base, and from there we're going to visit Sedona, the Grand Canyon, and Lake Powell all in one trip. I'm talking about red rocks, big views, and that deep blue water at Lake Powell that looks like a postcard. I'm told September is one of the best times to go with fewer crowds, more comfortable weather, and everything's going to be planned out for us. We just show up. If this sounds like something you'd like to do, please join me because I have always wanted to go to the Grand Canyon. Travelwithdebbie.net. That's travelwithdebbie.net or call Cruise and Tour at 800-383-3131. Space is limited, so don't delay. 800-383-3131. Travelwithdebbie.net.
2 legendary bands, 1 massive night of classic rock. Foreigner, performing the songs that defined a generation. You're as cold as ice. And Leonard Skinner, bringing Southern rock anthems to St. Louis. Foreigner, Leonard Skinner, coming to Hollywood Casino Amphitheater August 6. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. For more information, KMOX.com/events.
100 years of service and still at your service. KMOX.
Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores with you, and it is time for our midweek, midday, midlife. And I think this is such a perfect time to chat with Dr. Willie Jolley. He's a motivational speaker, author of Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better, and host of the Sirius XM radio show Wealthy Ways. And we're having him on to talk about how to avoid overconsumption, build financial security, and raise your kids to be money savvy. All of these topics we've already talked about this week, have questions about. So, Dr. Jolley, thank you so much for giving us your time today.
Well, thank you for having me. It's an honor and a privilege. And I told the gentleman when he called to put me on the air, hold on, I said, I love St. Louis. I love St. Louis.
Really?
Oh, very good.
Like, you have a connection to here, or why do you like St. Louis?
I've come there often to speak, and I do have a lot of friends there. So
awesome.
And I learned that on Fridays that if you have fish, you have spaghetti with it.
That's right. During the fish fries.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's a St. Louis thing. Okay. Anyway, it's
so
good to
true.
be on with you all.
We do things a little differently around here,
That's
in case you haven't
You
noticed.
certainly do, and I love it. Well, it's a joy to be on with you. And for those who listen to me on my Sirius XM show, I always start the same way. I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, can't refuse it. I didn't seek it, I didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. So I'm grateful for this minute, this moment, this opportunity to be on with both of you.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate that. And I love the spaghetti and fish detail because you can't fake that detail. That's something real. That's real.
That.
Yeah.
That's real. That's real. I've been there, okay?
Yeah, that's real. So, Dr. Jolley, it's funny because a couple of my friends who live in Switzerland, we had just talked about on the show about like DoorDash and getting food delivery and how it's really pretty expensive to do that frequently.
Right.
And so totally random, my friends who live in Switzerland posted on Instagram, they said, I forget how convenient and immediate everything is in the United States. Like in Switzerland, it's a little bit more inconvenient to go to the grocery store, but we do it. The hours are shorter. We don't DoorDash. But in the U.S., I mean, we are not just consumers, but we're quick consumers.
Right.
What would you say are the benefits or downsides of that?
Well, this book, as I have been writing it, this book is, first of all, taken me 20 years to be able to write it. This is my 20th season hosting the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways show on Sirius XM and the podcast. But this book has taught me about consumerism and how do we control it so that we can grow wealth. See, what I did in this book was I interviewed billionaire after billionaire after billionaire, Bill Marriott, David Rubenstein, Bob Johnson, Sheila Johnson, Ted Leonsis, Damon John. I just started having these interviews with these billionaires, and I realized that there is a distinct difference between being rich and being wealthy. Most people don't know what it was or is. And second, most people want to be wealthy, don't know how to get there. And secondly, they don't know how to teach their children how to maintain whatever they have created. So this book is an antidote to that issue to help people stop buying and start thinking about how they spend their money before they spend it.
It's a lot more difficult to do that, as you can imagine, because advertising has always been a thing, right?
Yep.
That's how our economy works. But
Yep.
it is so invasive now. It is
social media has made
emails,
it-
social media. It's everything. It's everywhere.
Everywhere.
You used to be able to ignore billboards,
Yes.
You
yes.
cannot ignore social media advertising, and it's very difficult to ignore it when it pops up in your inbox.
That's exactly right. And so what we've got to do, one of the things about wealth building I learned in this book is about the importance of discipline. You must develop discipline in order to create wealth. So let me first give you a couple thoughts about wealth creating that came out of this book. The book's entitled Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better. And so I thought rich was a pony and wealthy was a horse. But what I learned was that I was wrong. I didn't know what I was talking about. So I started interviewing people, and I asked them, what's the number, what in your mind, what's rich? And everybody said the number was $1 million. You got $1 million rich. I said, okay, then if rich is $1 million, what's wealthy? And they look up in the air, they'll struggle for a moment. They say, I guess 5 million, 10 million, billion. That's it. And I realized they didn't know either the difference between being rich and wealthy. So first, I wrote in the book about how to teach people the difference between rich and wealthy. And second, though, is all the people who've worked hard all their lives, struggled, sacrificed, scrimped to save, to create a nest egg, but they're concerned that their children will not be able to maintain it because of social media, because of these influences. And so one man said to me, he said, Dr. Jolly, my greatest fear is my children will not treat my money like I treated it, and they will go through in months what it took me decades and decades and decades to grow. He bought 10 books. He said, I got children and grandchildren, and every one of them must read this book before I put them in my will. He said, I read the book. It's the best book I've read in years on money and how to teach children how to have discipline. So I'm encouraging people just to go to richisgood.wealthyisbetter.com. Get some of the free chapters. We put free chapters for people so they can get a taste of it and see why so many people are just buying it like crazy and buying it in volume for their family members. This is a book that is a book that has taken me 20 years, but it is for today.
We were discussing a New York Times piece about, as I mentioned earlier, DoorDash and how a lot of people, especially young people, are spending hundreds of dollars a week on DoorDash, which is kind of crazy. And there are high schoolers, it's either their money or mom and dad's credit card, who maybe DoorDash a smoothie or Taco Bell. And a lot of people are lamenting that. To me, that strikes me as not being financially disciplined. Do you think I'm being like a grumpy old man, or is that one of the areas?
No, look, if you want to be wealthy, now people say they want to be wealthy. I ask a million people, you want to be wealthy? All of them put their hand up. Just about everybody going to put their hand up. But if you want to be wealthy, you cannot spend money just because you got some money in your pocket is burning a hole in your pocket. You must make sure that you live below your means, one, and invest the difference. And so if you're spending money on DoorDash constantly, then that's money that's going up in smoke. That's just going up in smoke. And so you have to make the decision, and wealth starts in your mind. It starts in your mind. All these billionaires taught me, you got to start thinking about it. You have to make decisions about every dollar and what it can do. See, here's what one of the pieces I write about in the book, that regular people work for their money. Wealthy people, their money works for them. And unfortunately, most people don't know what wealth is, so they don't take advantage of the possibilities. And so I was in Cleveland, Ohio, a couple weeks ago giving a speech, and I was there for Friday night for a speech, and I had a church to speak at on Sunday morning for the pastor's anniversary. And so that Saturday, my client took me to a fancy restaurant, and while I was there, I saw one of the star players from the Cleveland Browns football team. He's walking by with his entourage, and my client says, hey, he knew him. He said, come over, I want you to meet Dr. Jolly. So he brings him over, and he said, Dr. Jolly teaches people how to be wealthy. And the young man says, well, I'm already wealthy, but I guess I can get more wealth. And so I gave him my card. He left with his entourage. And I said to my client, I don't know that young man's finances per se, but I can bet you dimes to dollars that young man thinks he's wealthy, but he's really rich. And he's spending money like he's rich, and he's spending it thinking it's going to stay around. He is not wealthy. The owner is wealthy. See, that young man, he gets signed to a contract. He gets $1 million or a couple $1 million. He goes out on the field. He plays. He runs. He gets tackled or whatever. And at the end of the day, he leaves the game after the game, and he has got $1 million worth of net worth maybe. The owner, he never ran up and down the field. He never sweat. He sat in his owner's box. He sipped his favorite beverage, and at the end of the game, he left with $1 billion in his net worth. And when that young man is no longer productive or get hurt, he is gone, and that owner replaces him with another young man and gives him some millions of his dollars and says, do well. And that owner still has billions. Rich is good. I applaud the young man. But wealthy is so much better. And that's what I talk about in the book. Helping people, one, learn the difference between being rich and wealthy and why they should pursue wealth and be careful with every dollar. And two, helping people who want to teach their children how to not squander their hard-earned money. This book is jumping off the shelves. It's jumping off the shelves because of those reasons.
Dr. Willie Jolly, we appreciate your time. Thank you for helping us out a bit.
Have a great day. richisgood.wealthyisbetter.com. Have a great day, y'all. And enjoy the spaghetti and the fish on Friday.
Love the fried fish and spaghetti. It's a great combo. We're glad you like it, too. Thank you, Dr. Jolly.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's his book, Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better. And we appreciate Dr. Willie Jolly for visiting with us here on KMOX. We do have our Twitter poll of the week that we have up, and we have asked you to participate in it. We'll tell you what it is. In the meantime, you need to go to @ChrisAmyKMOX, because if you don't, you're going to be in serious trouble with me.
No more threats.
Big boy. No. You're going to be in trouble with me @ChrisAmyKMOX. And guess what? It's last call for football. And all week long, FanDuel is giving you a daily profit boost every single day leading up to the big game. Today's 30% profit boost on receiving markets, receiving yards over under, alt receiving yards, and most receiving yards. How about JSN? His yard total right now about 93.5. It's been moving a little bit. So if you think that looks good, you can jump on that today one way or the other. All you have to do is opt in each day and place an eligible bet to use that day's profit boost. So if you're trying to lock in an early line or ride with your favorite, whatever it is, FanDuel has you covered. Play your game with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. FanDuel.com/Missouri to get started. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Many times, a person hires a law firm after an injury without doing research. It can be a big mistake or not. Sometimes, after you have hired a certain lawyer, you realize you made a certain mistake. But guess what? Just because you hire them doesn't mean you can't fire them. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you think you've hired the wrong firm, you may have. So do this. Google Morgan & Morgan results or visit forthepeople.com for cases just like yours. You may find that our full-service injury firm should have been your choice in the first place. Last year, almost 12,000 people discharged their law firm and hired us after further research. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. Visit forthepeople.com today and let's get started. Or call Pound Law on your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hi, my name's Robin Fletcher. I've smoked for 46 years. I went to a seminar, and I have not smoked a cigarette since I left. My best friend came with me, and neither one of us smoked. I took my 3 sisters and my brother-in-law y'all and my sister's best friend. None of them have smoked a cigarette, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
My name is Jen Carpenter. I went to a Mark Patrick seminar back at February 12, 2015, the Stop Smoking, and it worked. I'm coming up on 11 years. A friend of mine also went in October of 2015, and he still no longer smokes. This is after, for myself, almost 30 years of smoking, and it was just amazing.
What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick Hypnosis and lose the weight or stop smoking or your money back. Only $59.99. That's right, Weight Loss Hypnosis, Saturday, March 7th at the Residence Inn by Marriott St. Louis Westport in St. Louis at 11 a.m. Registration 10:30 a.m. Stop Smoking Hypnosis 2 p.m. Registration 1:30 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe.
Super Bowl 60 on Sunday, big boy.
Big boy. Do you
and
know?
Big girl. What?
Do you know? People do say big boy, and it's like, hey. And if you say big girl,
what's up, big girl?
Not as nice. I don't know why.
Well, I guess if you're a child, you say you're a big girl. They probably like that.
I guess so.
But
at any rate,
there is an age where you don't want to hear that no mo. You're real mad about it.
Well, I mean,
what's my big girl doing today? Like, oh, damn. If you're
why
ever
are you talking to her like she's a dog?
I don't know if you're ever dating well, yeah, you could say it to them. If you're ever dating somebody,
yeah.
I would not recommend saying, how's my big girl today? Don't do it. It's really, really bad.
well, okay.
That outfit makes you look slimmer.
At any rate, we have our question of the week, but you were brought up the Super Bowl, and I was just thinking, guys, what a great sports weekend. The opening ceremonies on Friday, and then the Olympics, boom, downhill skiing on Saturday. 80 miles an hour, whoosh, down
So it's
the mountain.
all downhill from there,
It's
isn't it?
all downhill. And then all the other sports, the women's ice hockey starts, and you've got the Super Bowl. I mean, what a delightful prospect of sports we have.
Plays Saturday afternoon.
Do you mean the number 19 Billikens?
The team that has won 16 straight.
Wow.
22-1. They came back from a win, or they were down 13 last night, came back and won. So we've got our Twitter poll of the week.
Yep.
With the Super Bowl happening Sunday, we were lamenting, or at least I was. I hate the fact it's on Sunday. I hate the fact that people have to go to work on Monday. This has been a long gripe for a lot of people. I mean, this is not just me. I mean, I think all of us kind of wish that Monday was an off day.
Love it. I love working Monday.
Most people are going to a Super Bowl party or a place to watch the game or something. People are gathering for Super Bowl Sunday. So shouldn't it just be a thing where the next day is a day off for the majority of people? Here's our question of the week, and you have to go to @ChrisAmyKMOX to vote in the poll. And it says, we all want the day off after the Super Bowl, right? What day should it be played on? And you'll have to forgive us because we have ended that sentence with a preposition.
On what day should it be played?
So here are your options. The Sunday before President's Day,
okay,
Saturday, or leave it as it is. My vote is for Saturday. It would just be so easy. We already have 2 weeks off in between. What's the difference between 14 days and 13 days? Plenty of time to get ready for the game. Plenty of time for Super Bowl pre-game activities. Plenty of time for all that stuff. Just play the damn thing on Saturday.
I disagree. I think it should be the Sunday before President's Day. They're going to lengthen the regular season anyway, and they're going to push everything back a week. And that way, most people, not us, we don't get off President's Day, but most people, a lot of people, will be off on President's Day. I shouldn't even say most, because like nurses and
we won't be.
Service industry, we won't be.
Yeah.
But it gives you an excuse.
Sure.
Are you hungover? No, I'm celebrating the presidents.
President's Day is the third Monday of February. So I guess if they do go to the 18-game schedule, which is a possibility, even though the commissioner said this week that they have not had, I forgot how he put it, but it was no formal discussion on it. So it doesn't sound like that will happen next year, maybe, but I think in the future it's going to. Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, who, by the way, did not get into the Hall of Fame also, just like his coach, Bill Belichick, he said that that's going to happen. So they're going to go that direction, and maybe it works out, because that would mean President's Day is the February 16th this year. Is that correct? So that means it would be another couple of weeks from now. I don't know if you want to push the Super Bowl back that far.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I think it just makes it a whole lot easier to do it. Do it Saturday.
It doesn't feel the same.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I think I don't know. People have other things to do on Saturday. You got to mow the lawn.
I am telling you, do it on Sunday.
Game.
In February?
Only in the South.
Depending on where you live.
I am telling you right now that any events or plans or anything that you have put together for Saturday in the future, you will change those plans. You will say, there will be charity events that say, well, we're not going to do it on Super Bowl Saturday. They will counter program. That means they won't do it.
Yeah.
This is a very easy fix.
Well, again, it's our question of the week at Chris Amy KMOX. Well, this is not a very helpful comment.
They rarely are.
I know. You know what? That is a great point. I am appalled by how rarely the comments are helpful. This guy on Twitter says, I'm retired, leave it as it is.
Okay,
Looking out for number one.
You're the person who comments, and please follow us on Twitter at Chris Amy KMOX, but that person is the person who comments on a recipe post, and it's like, here's for black bean soup. I don't like beans. I don't care about you.
The soup's not for you.
It's not for you, you dork.
Yeah, so another unhelpful commenter says, who cares? I'm ready for baseball season.
Are you a Cardinals fan?
That can't be.
Well, they're from St. Louis, so they must be.
Yeah.
How could you not be ready for the Super Bowl? Aren't you? How are you not ready for the Seahawks to hopefully beat these stupid Patriots?
Yeah. Boston has too many parades.
Way too many parades.
And I love Boston, and I love the
too,
Boston
as
accent.
a city.
As a city. You know what else I love? The hard-working people of Boston who, work at Dunkin' Donuts. I saw this lady, I think she was on CBS News, worked at Dunkin' Donuts. This lady could command thousands of troops right into enemy territory. She ran that Dunkin' with an incoming storm. She said the Dunkin's going to stay open 24 hours. We need to be here for the people. She made it on CBS News. That lady. But I still want the Patriots to lose.
Everybody wants the Patriots to lose, except for New England. We had a text message. We had our last segment about being rich and wealthy, and our guest who said you should be wealthy, not rich. And this texter says, being wealthy is allowing your assets to produce cash flow so you don't have to work. You must buy assets. That is a great plan, but you got to have enough money to buy assets.
Oh, Big Blonde Dan, though, tells you how to squander your money. He says to DoorDash fried fish and spaghetti every Friday, maybe.
Now, here's a helpful text message from Bob, who says, I'm retired. Make the Super Bowl on Saturday.
Oh,
thank you, Bob.
Bob's looking out for the people.
I'm retired. I don't care what day it's on. It might as well be Tuesday.
I just want to say, if you heard a hesitation there for a split second and thought, what happened? Did Amy and Chris not communicate who was going to speak next? What happened was Tom Ackerman came into Studio B, and there's this thing that when a news person or when Tom Ackerman bursts into the studio, I thought, oh my gosh, the Cardinals did a huge move. Huge move.
Now he's just putting his stuff down.
He's just putting his stuff down.
He just barged in here like he owned the place.
I thought maybe there was some breaking news.
Yeah. Thanks for nothing, Tom. But the Gas House Gang is coming up next. Tom Ackerman and me. What do
I have to do with this?
You're walking in here.
Walk in and we all thought,
Why do you guys always think every time I walk in?
News.
Because we think there's something happening.
Who's doing the news at noon?
Tom Ackerman. Is it you?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're going to do it from there?
Oh, I'm going to do it from there.
But there's no breaking Cardinals news right now.
Folks, every time I walk in here, I'm honored. Every time I walk in here, they think that I'm going to break some news.
Yeah.
You're a walking news breaker.
That's incredible. No, there is no news at the moment.
All right.
But we'll see.
Gas House Gang is next.
Stay tuned.
We're going to talk to Layla Anderson going into the Sports Hall of Fame.
And Dan Rolfus.
Dan Rolfus going into the Sports Hall of Fame. That is coming up next. Anything you missed on the Chris and Amy show, it is in the Odyssey app right there for you for free. Odyssey app or iHeart app or wherever you get your podcasts. See you tomorrow at 9. The Gas House Gang is next on KMOX.
Horse manure is nothing compared to cow manure.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored